Wonders are in breach of contract.
We still have a hit record.
Yeah, you do. One-hit wonders. It's a very common tale.
I am the Martian ambassador. We come in peace. We come in peace.
I love you. You complete me. What just has...
Just shut up. You had me at...
Hello, everyone.
But she's an old lady. I mean, look at her. She's old.
I am the last one.
Yeah. You think they deserve to die, Mr. Haley? Answer the question.
Polly, don't answer that question.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
You have bribed, cajoled, and killed, and you have done it using loyalties on the inside. You want to shake hands with the devil, that's fine with me. I just want to make sure that you do it in hell.
You were any other man, I would kill you where you stand.
Ah! That's right! That's right! Get up! Get up! That's what you get! Look at you! Ship all banged up! Who's the man? Huh? Who's the man? Wait till I get another plane! I'm lighting all your friends up right beside you!
What about you then?
Liar!
This is about saving the future of humanity.
John, we'll blow up the damn ship!
No! No! I am Kazam!
Well, I'm really happy for you.
That's not a wish! That's an insult!
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2016. Log on to denvercomiccon.com to buy your tickets today. Also at Denver Comic Con, I forgot to mention last week that they are hosting a mass wedding there. So if you feel like you want to get married, join them.
How's that work? If I like, can I just show up by myself and like if somebody else wants to get married, like we're all gonna get married together?
No, it's all inclusive. So, it's also for our LBGTQ community. What does the Q stand for, Laura?
Queer.
Okay.
She said queer.
I wasn't sure.
I was pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's queer or sometimes it's question. Sometimes it means questioning too, depending on which version of the thing you're using.
But more so is the DCC is partnering with Pride Fest because Pride Fest happens the same weekend, and yeah, you can sign up for the wedding ceremony on their website on the DCC. Just go to denvercomiccon.com and be part of it. You know what's great about comic books? Everybody's included. There is no politics in comic books.
Well, I mean, there is.
There is, but I mean, like, for the fans.
Yeah.
Name some gay superheroes.
That dude from the Planetary.
One of the X-Men guys.
That other dude from Planetary that's like the lover of the first dude.
The Midnighter.
Yes. Right. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Willow.
Is that oh, yes, Willow, that's a good one. Right. Willow's in comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said superheroes.
Yeah. What? Witches are like superheroes in, fiction. In real life, they're just kind of creepy and awkward to be around.
I think is it North Star is the X-Men who is? I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm sure. I don't read X-Men comics.
I don't know nothing about no X-Men.
Neither do I. I know Wolverine has claws.
He does. Yeah.
I'm still. You guys up? I don't know about the Apocalypse movie.
No, it looks awful. Like the trailers are bad. But the truth is, like the trailers for Ant-Man were bad.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Days of Future Past trailers weren't that great either. If I remember right,
they were a little cumbersome. Yeah.
I'm stuck for the ride.
Like,
no
matter what, it's just like it could be like X-Men. We took a dump on the franchise. Okay.
Has Singer made a bad X-Men movie yet?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, Last Stand.
I don't think it's a bad movie.
That's Brett Ratner.
But is it?
Yeah, but
hey,
it's bad.
Is it a bad movie?
It's. I mean,
it's got its problems.
It does, but
it's
also
on
has
the bad scale somewhere.
I don't think so.
It's not like
it still has that scene where Wolverine is like walking up the hill to kill the Phoenix and the music's awesome and he's getting like his skin ripped off.
I love that scene. I don't love that. Yeah.
And then he stabs her. He's like, "Fuck you, Gene."
It's got a lot.
I think that's what he said.
You know what is really cool is the scene where they go to recruit Jean, like at the beginning, and they go to her house and all the cars are floating and shit. Like that was pretty good. Yeah.
And Stan Lee looks up,
but
and
they
just
also
goes,
they also like, yeah. No, I don't love that movie.
Meh.
But most of them are pretty good.
Hey, we only have one short month to Civil War, and that's what we're gonna love. Civil War.
Yeah.
Do you guys, so every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw God's Not Dead 2.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear this theme song to that?
Spoilers.
God's not dead. He's surely alive.
That's
really what it is. I'm not even joking.
No, I know. It's by the Newsboys. The main singer of that band is Michael Tate, who was of a band called DC Talk. I was a big fan of it when I was about 12 years old.
Tell me they don't know how
that
to
song's
write
been
songs.
out for a while. No, the song's just atrocious.
Who are you guys? What have I walked into? You know the theme song. You know the band.
Well, that's only because I've never seen a trailer for it until like this week. Because
it's
Laura
awful.
watches
so
Super
rad.
Nanny, and like I don't know what channel it's on, but they show that trailer all the time. Whatever. What channel is Super Nanny on, Laura? It's on Up.
Up is a channel?
What? I know ESPN, the History Channel, and Disney. That's
Yeah.
like the breadth of my knowledge on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
CBS. Is it like CBS?
And I'm starting to watch John Oliver last week with John Oliver. It's pretty great.
Yeah, so it's a terrible trailer.
Yeah, I don't think the movie is good either. I don't know because we're not going to go see it.
We're not going to go see it.
Actually,
so this is a trick the whole time.
yes. April Fools, Brad. Again, when we don't know what movies we want to watch, we always have something in the back on the back burner. And this week we're doing Filmsplosion 1996.
Yeah.
I would introduce everybody, but I don't care about anybody else.
Hey.
I'm Ryan. I'm the best.
Hey, before we do that though, we're not doing news this week. But I do want to do one quick shout out,
Okay.
which is that this week the Westward awarded our Alamo Drafthouse the best movie theater in Denver based on their programming. So shout out to those guys because they're fantastic. Like I think that's really exciting.
Congratulations, Alan.
I'm glad the readers of the Westward don't have their heads up their asses because it is by far the best theater in the state.
Yeah. But it's still it's a cool honor.
It's like when the English
Congratulations to them.
Patient wins the Oscar and everyone goes, "What?"
Yeah. I'm excited to see if English Patient is on any of our lists for 1996.
It sounds like it'd be on a James list. That sounds like a James movie.
Maybe it would be if I've ever seen that movie.
All super long and boring and like, how the fuck did this win? Like the Weinsteins are probably in the back, like sucking someone's cock. Oh, vote for it.
They just market to old people who don't know any better. It's like,
so the Academy. Okay,
it's
I got
an all-white cast. Like this is totally the movie I want.
So what we do? Zach's here, Brad's here, James is here. Hi guys.
Hi.
Laura's leaving.
Laura's leaving. She's like, I've had enough of this.
My husband made jokes about sucking cock. I'm going.
Laura
to bed.
was 11 in 1996.
Hey, I was 9.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait,
Laura.
wait, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I know. I was picking on Laura because Laura says she hasn't aged since 25, and
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah. Alrighty then.
bye, Laura. My
Good
wife
night.
has a great butt.
The podcasters can't see it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do see it and you looked at it, if any of these assholes in this room looked at it, I'd gouge out their eyeballs and skull fuck them.
That's why we don't. And people are always asking us why don't we do video.
Oh wait,
it's,
Full Metal
it's
Jacket
for your
didn't
own
come out in
protection.
96.
Anyway,
so we're gonna go around, say our 10 favorite films of 1996. Fun year.
And we'll read everyone else's that they send in at the end.
I'll read them at the end.
thank you to whoever sent them in.
Yeah.
Are we ready? Are we gonna jump into the time portal? Who's going first?
Zach will go first.
All right, sounds good.
Because I think I'm going to sweep everybody's legs. I'm going to like just chop them off, and unless someone picked Independence Day number 10,
You're like down Periscope number 10, and everybody just sighs.
sometimes when you read the list of movies from 1996, you're like, God, that was a piece of shit, and it made like $200 million. Like, wow,
It was a magical time.
it was. It's also interesting too when you go back. There's 311 movies that were released theatrically, and when you get down to like 100, it's 5-6 million. If you look at 100 this year, it's like $40-50 million. That's how much how much movies make now and how much times have changed.
Yeah.
It's a big industry.
It's a huge industry.
Because people have less freedom to do things.
Yeah. Because people are talking about Batman Superman this week falling 70%. It's still going to make like $60 million.
81%.
That's today.
Oh, was it only
just
today?
today?
Oh, okay.
Over the weekend.
But they're also.
It's funny because they made a big deal out of, and I mentioned this to Steve when I was at the Alamo this week a couple times, and I mentioned the whole thing about the news that it dropped. There was this record-breaking drop on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't even thought about the fact that Sunday was also Easter, so of course there was a drop.
And also they include the Thursday night previews of $27 million into Friday.
Yeah.
So
it's not summer, so
I know. And the thing too is it's already made like $255 million just here. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it'll be fine.
Hopefully,
I saw another article that said it tanked in its second week in China, but then they were like, "Oh, by the way, a bunch of new movies came out, so that might be why." It's like, why would you? It's just such a clickbait headline.
Yeah, and I think the movie critics want superhero movies to fail so bad, and they never will because the thing is they tell stories that people want to see. Whether it's Deadpool that's made $350 million, I cannot believe it's made that much money, but
that's awesome.
People want to see that stuff.
Yeah.
And when studios wise up, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, Zach, you love the Hateful Eight, but it's easier
for some people are on drugs.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing is what would you rather sit down an average moviegoer, a 3-hour long Western where people just talk in a room, or a superhero spectacle? I'm going with the superhero stuff.
I'm going to be honest. I'd go with the superhero one as well.
Yeah,
it's not like, and honestly, it comes down to like, any genre takes its time to legitimize itself. Like people were bashing sci-fi movies for a certain point, with the exception of Planet of the Apes, up until Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it became legitimate to make a sci-fi movie.
The superhero genre will break through when one of them gets nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, which will be Civil War.
I hope it's
was my joke.
So yeah, we'll see. I think people wanted Batman Superman to fail for some reason, and I don't know why.
I know if it fails, it in a way does make Marvel look bad because it brings down the whole superhero genre and gives people like superhero fatigue.
And it also,
I disagree with that.
Well, but what it does do, it does hurt Warner Brothers, and the industry that they so love is just like, okay, so you want this to tank, and Warner Brothers wants to make more movies, so you're just going to keep on bringing them down, and for. It's stuff that I mean, there's problems with the movie, but I don't think it's anything that's.
I really think.
Time already.
And honestly, at this point, for the past year, bashing Warner Brothers has become like an old joke.
They've had a bad couple years.
Jupiter Ascending, like stuff like that. Like we get it, they're not doing so well.
Yeah, but Fury Road only made like $130 million,
and
which is nothing laugh
they also didn't believe in that movie for a very long period of time.
Because how long was that shelved for? A year and a half?
Yeah.
I was saying quality-wise, like they make good stuff.
They do.
Here's the thing. I feel like what you're actually drawing attention to is the same just general hatred for things that are popular that the internet always does.
Yeah, it's
I mean, at the same time, I will go straight back to, I think that's a bad, messy film, and I think that they talked down to the audience and they did a bunch of dumb things in making that movie. I don't think it's a good movie, and I don't think people should see it. At the same time, like I said on Facebook the day after we did our podcast, at this point, mocking that movie is just superfluous. Like, there's no reason to keep making fun of it.
I liked it.
So
I'll see it again.
I actually enjoyed it my second time. Despite the 3D.
Oh, you saw it in 3D the second time?
Yeah, it was cardboard cutout-y.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it 3 times already.
Nice.
Man.
Keep
I mean,
alive.
I said yesterday I'd rather watch that than watch the 2.5 minute trailer for Angry Birds. So,
yeah,
man, it's so bad.
Yeah, but we're just saying that because we love movies, and everybody has a different taste in film. I'm interested to see this list. I'm sure a lot of the same movies might pop up on this list.
Probably.
James has already mentioned Down Periscope. So
oh yeah, we're all gonna have Down Periscope on our list.
I forgot that movie existed, and
my mom loves Down Periscope.
Does she really?
Can you imagine that?
No.
Right? Yeah.
But 96 was an interesting time. I actually think it's a time when movies started becoming way more reliant on special effects, and that drove the film. And I mean, you can look at a film. I won't say that. I shouldn't say it because it might be on someone's list, but
it is.
Yeah, it's And you look at it now, some movies, and some of the effects still hold up, but some of them look really bad.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's the artists were learning. I'm not taking away from the artists.
Oh, yeah.
What they had at that time, I think, is very impressive. So,
I mean, I've got movies on my list that are using, new cutting edge CG special effects, and then I've got movies that are using they're still using sort of that transparent, composite kind of effect to get stuff done.
It's that era in Hollywood where they're transitioning, and the transitioning is not very smooth.
Right.
I mean, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago when I watched Blade. I think it came out in '98, and there's some CG in that. It's just awful. Like, I don't know why they CGI'd him doing flips.
And there's still some CG in these movies that I'm like, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a movie on my list, and the sequels to that movie have worse CG than this one does.
Yeah.
So, by far.
This is the year that I started kind of paying attention to movies, really becoming a film fan.
When you sent me we should do 96, I was like, oh man, I've seen a lot of movies from 1996. A lot. I mean, my number 10 I think is 230th on the list. So
it's interesting because as I was looking through the list and as I was making my list, this is one of the most passion based lists that I've ever done for one of these, where there's a lot of movies on here that are movies that I love or that I grew up with or that I remember seeing in theaters, and they're not necessarily the best movies that were made that year, or the most artsy movies, because it's a year full of a lot of stuff like that. As I look down the list of things that are potentially on that list, there's a lot of stuff where it's is Broken Arrow on my list? No. But do I love the hell out of some Broken Arrow? Yeah, that movie is dumb and stupid and fun.
I think that's what, Brad's saying. Pay attention to those movies. And I remember going to the theater to see a lot of these movies. A lot of them. I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And,
this is the first year I kept a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it's interesting.
I have tickets older than this.
Because I can't pinpoint the exact moment I loved movies, but it's right around this time.
Yeah.
I've always liked them, but this is when I really started loving film.
Did you guys look at 2006 at all?
No.
Because I know we didn't suggest it, but this one I kind of struggled to get to 10, but 2006.
Is that the next one we should do?
Well, yeah, we should do every year, just the 10 and 30 and everything. But that's one where I couldn't believe how hard it would be to trim it down to 10. So.
Awesome. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. I'm sure there's something coming up in the summer months when they have a couple weeks off when there's tentpole movies. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All
so
right,
Zach,
let's jump in.
What's your number 10 film from 1996?
My number 10 film from 1996 is an epic, rip-roaring, rock'em sock'em adventure. Oh wait, it's Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie.
Every year, Hollywood makes hundreds of movies. This is one of them.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Gramercy Pictures invites you to the first big screen adventure of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
You hit something. You killed the Hubble.
At last, the crew aboard the Satellite of Love can tell jokes without a censor.
I'm a naughty boy. Naughty.
And boldly go where no man or robot has gone before.
Hey, I'm experiencing a sensation altogether new to me, and frankly, I love it.
Watch the gang from Mystery Science Theater as they watch the science fiction classic, This Island Earth.
Captain's log. I've lost my toupee and girdle, and I can't leave my room.
The supreme excitement of our time.
Yes, very nice, yes.
See sights never before dreamed by man.
Why'd they put the toilet in the middle of the room?
Where captive Earth people fight for their lives.
Oh, I'm very vulnerable there. Oh, there go the piano lessons.
2.5 years in the making.
Oh, no. Tinkerbell's going down. Pull up, Tinker. No.
Mystery Science Theater 3000, the movie from MCA Universal Home Video.
This was it's essentially an elongated version of the show.
This Island
Earth, which they actually cut down a bunch of This Island Earth.
Yeah,
a lot of
This Island Earth fans hate that movie so much.
Oh yeah, because This Island Earth is not necessarily a bad movie.
Yeah,
but they, what I love about it is actually the puppeteer work and the interstitials in between the riffing itself. They made it look cinematic. They gave it some form of legitimacy, and it also has one of my favorite Crow T robot bits with him trying to dig his way out of the satellite of love and going like, it's a long way to Tipperary.
You mentioned on Facebook today you were watching the one with Alien from LA.
Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite episode. Because I put on Facebook, he says, wow, that sign really seduces me to buying a hamburger. And the sign literally says hamburger, and it's like this really horrible picture of a hamburger. And then it's with Kathy Ireland, and so it's like halfway through the episode, they come out, and Servo's wearing a wig, and he says, he's like, Kathy, my soprano lassie. And then Servo has to sing, and he goes, Mikey, oh Mikey, no, do it in the voice. Mikey, oh Mikey, is you that I likey. It's really awesome, and it's probably my favorite episode of that. It's
my favorite line in that particular episode is, "Dear Mom, Golan and Globus cast me in their new movie. They're giving me $55."
But the film is pretty fun. I wouldn't say This Island Earth is a good movie, but I'd say it's not on par with the movies I usually make fun of. But I remember enjoying that film.
It's probably on its own better than like Mitchell.
Joe Don Baker is Mitchell.
And that's one of the first movies I saw in an art house theater.
Really?
Because it never played in the big ones. I think I saw it at the Esquire.
Yeah, they didn't get a large theatrical release for it, which was why I was kind of toying with it. I'm like, I had to look it up and make sure it grossed in the year.
No, it counts. It totally counts. Yeah. I'm really glad you put that on my list because it was. I feel like I love NST3K more than I love like that specific one. And
that was my introduction to it. Was this movie?
Oh, see, my dad and brother like really liked that when I was growing up, and so I watched a lot of it.
Nice.
I didn't I don't know that I ever thought it was funny until I like started revisiting it in my teens. Yeah. In fact, we watched it so much that when I first watched Planet of the Apes with my dad and my brother, the early parts of that movie where they're just climbing through a desert trying to get to where there's apes, we got really bored, and my brother went and got cardboard and cut out Tom Servo and Crow and a human out of black cardboard and taped it to our TV, and it was on my parents' TV for 10 years. So like anytime we watched a movie, there was the MST3K guys on our TV.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
That is so cool.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Cool. Brad?
My turn?
I guess James is hosting the show, so yeah, your turn, Brad.
Oh, man. Shit.
I'll wait for Ryan's to
Brad, you may choose your 10th film from 1996.
Okay, here we go. Like I said before, I couldn't really get to a good 10.
No?
So I just put a
Children of Men.
Yeah, I just started picking movies from other
movies
years.
that I like with the number 6 in them.
No, my bottom 2 slots I just filled with Van Damme movies, and the 10th one I chose to be Maximum Risk.
If you're playing this tape, then I'm already dead. You are my only hope. They're watching. They're waiting. Take the money, the list, and the gun. And when you shoot to kill.
Somebody killed him. It was strength to come home.
This is just the beginning. I've seen it before. They won't stop until you're dead, too.
From internationally acclaimed action director Ringo Lam, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Natasha Henstridge of Species. Maximum Risk. Welcome to the other side of safe.
Co-starring Natasha Henstridge from Alien.
Yeah,
Species. That means I know what your number 8 is, or your number 9 is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it once. And it's a Van Damme movie, and it came out this year.
Where does it rank in the Van Damme
pantheon?
It's pretty.
Yes,
it's pretty in the middle. It's not straight to video bad, but it's
he seems bored in it. I remember watching it. I was like, he's.
I'm trying to really remember the plot.
I don't remember it all.
Because Natasha Henstridge, she has access to something, and
it seems like it was a vehicle for her because she was hot coming off of Species, and they're like, oh, let's pair her up with Van Damme because Van Damme's an action star, and will make them kind of co-stars, and just meh.
I'm trying to remember. I think he plays a twin in that movie. Oh yeah, like he has this brother who looks like himself, and like I remember the part he's in the bank vault and he's trying to get the money or whatever, and there's like a recorded message from his like twin, and then he like takes over his identity or something. I don't know.
Oh, so he plays his twin, like his twin's not played by Danny DeVito or something?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a policeman takes his twin brother's place and inherits his problems and a beautiful girlfriend.
Whoa!
He is forced to kickbox his way through France to the USA and back while playing footsie with the FBI and Russian mafia. Not just muscles with a badge. The policeman must find his answers.
Yeah, what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I mean, it was one of the production value is pretty high, so there's some decent action and stunts and whatnot, but overall, yeah, the story's kind of like, it's very slow and quiet, and I think I fell asleep a couple times trying to watch it.
And it features the quote, "This isn't your lucky day. This is not your lucky day. Tell your boss to leave me the fuck alone."
All right.
There you go, guys. Maximum Risk.
Yep.
That sounds like a winner.
Yep. Number 10. Top 10 of 1996.
One of the best films.
One of the best films. Better than The English Patient.
Better than Down Periscope.
It is better than English Patient. If I want a 2.5 hour nap with ambient noise, it's The English Patient. Cool, I'll go. My number 10 barely made money at the box office. It made $1 million. But I was pleasantly surprised when, and this isn't a great movie, by the way. I was pleasantly surprised when I got an update through Scream Factory that this is going to be one of their releases in July. This movie is called Bad Moon.
A house on the edge of the woods.
Out here it's safe and peaceful.
A family alone.
Mom? Yes, sweetheart? Can you leave the door open a crack?
A favorite uncle who needed their help.
Things haven't been going so good for me since I got back, sis.
You could come stay with us.
But when they invited him in,
Think I better keep my eye on you.
they let in something they could never imagine or ever escape.
What's wrong with you?
Bad Moon. It doesn't have to be Halloween to be this scary.
And Bad Moon is this totally badass werewolf movie that's maybe an hour and 15 minutes long. And it stars remember that little boy from Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
So he's in it with his dog, and the movie opens with his uncle, but you don't know it's his uncle yet, but this dude's like fucking
Mason Gamble?
Huh?
Mason Gamble?
Yeah. So this dude's like fucking this hot chick, and it's like really like explicit sex, and then all of a sudden this werewolf like rips her in half and then bites his like right here, and so he shoots and kills the werewolf, and the head explodes.
Did the sex lady turn into a werewolf?
No,
or did the
because she
sex
gets
dude
ripped
turn
in
into-
half.
Oh, so the werewolf comes upon the
sexers,
sexers.
them in a tent,
Okay,
and rips her in
The
half.
werewolf can smell sex.
Yes,
with his heightened werewolf smell sense.
So the uncle is now the werewolf, and it's like this, like he moves in with on his sister's property. I think it's Merrill Hemingway, I want to say, is in the movie. I haven't seen it in a while.
Does CCR have the end credits theme song?
It should, but I think American Werewolf in London has that monopoly.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that. Yeah.
You haven't seen American Werewolf in
No.
London? You should really see American Werewolf in London. So anyways, like the effects are really badass because it's all practical. And when he turns into the werewolf, and it's like that mixture I was telling you earlier, like CGI with practical, and it's not quite as good. But the werewolf itself is awesome, because he's super big and his face is all animatronic, and it's super violent. And like I said, it's like an hour and 15 minutes, because I was reading that they cut tons of footage out. And I'm hoping that Scream Factory is going to be able to find all that footage and put it in.
It's a cool looking poster.
Oh yeah, dude, the poster's badass.
That is awesome.
So you'll be able to purchase that from Scream Factory. I think it's July 10th. But yeah, if you like werewolf movies, this one's pretty sweet. Because like I said, it's literally an hour and 15 minutes, and it's a werewolf killing people.
Yeah, it's Mariel Hemingway.
Mariel Hemingway, see, yeah.
I was like, oh, how do I know that name? Oh yeah, Manhattan.
Yeah. I think Michael Perry plays the werewolf. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, he's really good in it though. He has like this really like he seems like a cool guy until he's not, because he's an evil werewolf. And the dog in it fights the werewolf in like the yard at one point. It's pretty badass.
Cool.
How does the werewolf not just immediately just shred the dog?
Because it's a German Shepherd. I don't know. I don't remember. I know there's a sweet scene where like
I'm just saying, he rips a girl in half like right away, like,
and he rips like a camper's head off in it. It's pretty awesome. There's lots of blood and guts.
Cool.
So yeah, Bad Moon.
Cool.
If you like werewolf movies, definitely see it.
As good or better than Silver Bullet?
Better than Silver Bullet.
Ooh.
Because Silver Bullet's really campy.
Yeah.
This one's pretty straightforward horror.
Nice.
Cool. My number 10?
Yep.
My number 10. So my number 10 is, like I was alluding to before, this is definitely one of those movies that I adored as a kid. I had the video game version of it, which isn't really much like the movie at all, other than it's got some cool
Goonies
puzzles
too?
in it. Nope. But you're getting close. Sort of. Not really. You're not really close. So my number 10 is Muppet Treasure Island.
Centuries ago, a legendary treasure was buried on a remote island. And there's only one living soul daring enough to find it.
Hello, everyone.
Captain Abraham Smollett is taking command.
This voyage has begun.
To wherever the wind may take us.
Hurry, Rizzo!
I'm going as fast as I can.
But there's trouble afoot.
Beware the one-legged man. He's the one to fear.
Long John Silver, at your service.
One leg, Jim. Count 'em one.
Now, the captain is being pursued by pirates.
Pirates?
We're sailing for buried treasure.
We're gonna be rich.
We're gonna be dead.
Surrounded by danger.
Terrific. Captured by crazed wild pigs and sacrificed hideously before a pagan altar.
Are we lucky or what?
And haunted by his past.
Bonsoir, mes amis. Smalley, can it be you? Old girlfriend.
We got cabin fever. We lost what sense we had. We got cabin fever. We're all going mad.
Walt Disney Pictures presents, from Jim Henson Productions, a classic tale of ships coming in.
Who hired this crew?
And luck running out.
Get the treasure. Let's torture the rat. Huh? No more, Miss Nice Guy.
Cool.
Muppet Treasure Island.
I'm starting to worry about this voyage.
You got Cabin Fever, James?
Yes.
Is a video game in this?
Yes, there was. It's like this weird part adventure game, part puzzle game.
It's probably on PC. We're Nintendo guys.
Yeah, it was totally a PC game. At one point, you get dropped into like a bucket of manure, and they give you a sponge, and you have to clean off the screen. Like it's weird stuff. Anyway, this is my favorite Muppet movie. I love Tim Curry in this movie. Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, it's your favorite one?
I saw it in theaters, and I just loved it growing up. I always thought it was so much fun.
It is a fun movie. I love it.
Yeah, like
Sailing for
I have
Adventure.
it on Blu-ray, Disney Blu-ray. It's a double feature with what's the one that came just before
Christmas
it?
Carol?
No, Muppets in Space.
I don't think it's in space. I think it's,
Really?
I don't remember, but it's a double feature.
Oh, okay. Muppets in Space I remember also seeing in theaters, and
maybe
I
it
thought
is.
that was the one afterwards, and I hate that movie.
But you find out Gonzo, where he's from.
Yeah, I was
find out his
probably,
family.
10 when that movie came out, and I remember sitting in the theater going, I don't care, this is stupid and not funny. Like, I remember being like...
And then Jim Henson rolled over in his grave.
It was like a foreshadow to Despicable Me, my experience in Muppets in Space.
You were having Muppets from Space flashbacks?
Yeah, right, yes, exactly.
Those are worse than non-flashbacks, guys.
Yeah. I really love Tim Curry in this movie. For me, you also have to realize I hadn't been exposed to Treasure Island yet in my life. So for me, like, this is a really awesome, like, pirate adventure movie.
Robert Louis Stevenson's rolling over in his grave now.
But yeah, it's
That's the author. I'm not just a movie guy.
He's been in a library once and read the spine of a book. Shit. And yes, it's got like it's not necessarily the best songs in a Muppet movie. If you really asked me to rank them based on pure quality and like what is the best of the Muppet movies, would I say this is the best one? No, but it's my favorite of them.
That's dude.
Yeah. Oh
you,
no,
you misheard me. That's totally fair.
No. And like the adventure part of it is so cool too. Like at the beginning in there, and the guy gets the black spot, and it's Connolly. It's Billy Connolly.
Yep, Billy Connolly.
Yeah. Plays shoot, what's his name?
I can't remember, but he gets the black spot.
Yeah. He gets the black spot, and he's so terrified, and he's just hamming it up, surrounded by Muppets. And it's a fun movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's my number 10. It's a movie that people should show your kids.
It's with the Great Muppet Carol on Caper.
Oh, is it with
on the Muppet Caper on Blu-ray?
I feel like that came before.
It might have.
Yeah. Anyway, check out Muppet Treasure Island, dude. But seriously, Tim Curry's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's great in the film.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, number 9.
You're gonna love my Treasure Island.
I didn't say Christopher Walken.
That's Dr. Frankenfooter.
That sounded like Christopher Walken.
Fuck you, James.
You're gonna love my nuts. Go ahead.
So, let me ask you guys a question. Does anybody here were they MTV kids growing up?
No, I didn't think I was allowed to watch MTV.
Okay, neither was I. And so this film I didn't get to see until I was much older, but it became a repeat watch to where I've seen it at least 100 times. And my number 9 film is Beavis and Butt-Head Do America.
In cooperation with authorities, we request your assistance in apprehending America's 2 most wanted fugitives. Sketch artists have prepared the following likenesses. Beavis and Butt-Head hit the road to seek their fortune.
I want to watch TV.
Find romance.
Can I help you with that?
I love you. Come to Butthead.
You got 2 seconds.
Is that gonna be enough time?
Win fame.
I am going on you.
These are the most dangerous men in America. I want these faces in front of every Fed and 2 big sheriff within 1,000 miles.
Get the hell out of the cockpit.
You bet.
And do an entire nation.
Check out Butthead TV.
I think I found the remote.
Beavis.
That's amazing.
This is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
You want to see something really cool?
Butthead.
Want to fuck with chicks? Hey, baby.
In an adventure too big for your television.
Did we miss Baywatch?
No. Beavis and Butthead Do America.
I extend my deepest thanks.
She said extend.
We are going to have the weirdest set of films.
Brad just laughed when that was announced.
No, I was so sure you were going to say Joe's Apartment. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I guess that came out too.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. I toyed with putting that or
Well, he still has 8 more to go. It could be another one.
it could be. You never know.
It could be.
Number 1 is Joe's Apartment.
Cool.
Beavis and Butthead Do America is the story of Beavis and Butthead trying to find their television set that's been stolen from them by 2 robbers, but then they end up going on this epic quest to I guess it was essentially there was a tracking device that Bruce Willis and Demi Moore are in the movie, and they give a tracking device to Beavis and Butthead that's like part of a spy program that they're trying to sell off to a cartel. And it's just Beavis and Butthead going across the country trying to deliver it all so that they can get laid and also get a television and also get all these things. It is endlessly quotable right down to some of the greatest Cornholio bits that you'll ever hear from a Beavis and Butthead situation. And there's an interaction where Butthead's on a plane and Cloris Leachman plays this old lady, and she gives him horse
She plays an old lady.
tranquilizers.
That's weird.
Wasn't she born an old lady?
I know, right?
You would think.
Actually, she's pretty smoking hot in Kiss Me Deadly.
Oh.
She plays like this starlet in it. I was like, whoa, that's Cloris Leachman? Bling.
I've never heard that.
I just really
phrase.
wanted to offend James's mother at this point. So that was for you, Carol.
What do I have to do? What else do I have to do?
She literally, as I was leaving, because I watched a movie with her today, and as I was leaving, she was like, I'm so excited. I really love Filmsplosion. So thanks for that, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mention any horse raping, so we're good.
Anyway, getting back to doing America.
Instead of horses. The key thing that I love about this film actually is the soundtrack.
Really?
It's actually a very interesting, eclectic soundtrack mix, and it's also technically Rob Zombie's directorial debut because he directed the animated sequence where Beavis and Butthead trip out to Rat Finks, Suicide Tanks, and Cannibal Rats.
Yeah,
I
and
think
I'm
that's
sure
the name of the
there's
song.
women being assaulted in it too.
Oh,
There is not, but
Kidding. That's my Rob Zombie dig. Unless his wife's in it, then hands off.
yeah,
Right.
but
I'm such a dick.
It's terrible.
I'm gonna kill you, Ryan, in my Dracula.
So
I'm full of Rob Zombie jokes, guys.
right.
you're gonna be a living dead girl, my living dead girl.
So, so Zach, if I've never watched any Beavis and Butthead, should I go watch Do America?
Yes, absolutely.
My dad,
you don't-
dad loves Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
I meant
There's-
that for me. Like, do
Oh,
you
for
think
you?
if I like Mike Judge, if I go watch it, am I gonna really like it?
Yeah, and if anything, it'll be a good entry point into what Beavis and Butthead is.
All right.
Because like the show is non-linear, there's no connection or anything. It's just shorts and sketches and
Yeah.
music video commentary. The movie, what they do is they take the generational attitude of what Mike Judge supposes this generation
Brad, am I a
is,
dick, but I hope
and
you
puts
fall.
it into a situation that's far
Back
beyond
in
their
your TV.
reach.
Sure.
And I think that
I can finally get my 3D
speaks
TV.
for itself in terms of what kind of film it is. It's actually a very smart satire on that current generation at that current moment.
Cool.
And also it has the precursor to Hank Hill going, ain't you two the fellas that been whacking off in my tool shed? So I love it. Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Right on.
Cool. Very cool.
So my dad loves that movie too. He loves Beavis and Butthead. That's pretty funny. I mean,
Interesting. Maybe I'll check it out. Sorry, Mom.
oh, we know what's coming up.
So
Are
my
we
number
gonna find
9.
what we're looking for?
Can I tell you what your number 9 is?
No, I gotta set it up.
Okay.
Let me have this.
This is all I have.
So my number 9 is a globe-trotting art film called The Horse Rapist.
Nay!
No, it's
Play the trailer.
not.
No, my number 9, as I alluded to before, is another Van Damme movie. It is a globe-trotting movie. It's called The Quest.
Where did you learn to fight like that?
It was long ago.
On the run from the law,
Check the cargo. See it somewhere. Move it.
captured by gun runners,
A story. You work for us. Put him in chains.
Who the hell is that?
What's your name, son?
Christopher Dubois.
Mine's Dobbs. Your Dobbs.
Hurry it up, lads.
sold into slavery.
Chris Dubois, United States of America, the best fighter I've ever seen.
Be ready at all times. You will learn that.
He wouldn't give up until he found a way to win back his honor.
The best fighters will meet to compete in the Lost City for a dragon made of solid gold.
I tell you what, you get us to the Lost City, and I'll make sure that we come back with the gold.
Here in the Lost City, we greet our first hero.
The Quest.
Does he find what he's looking for?
In a way, yes.
He's looking for love and a place where he can really settle down.
You watched this one recently, though, right?
Actually,
It was when you were doing your. It was like a year ago when you were doing your Van Damme.
Yeah, like a year ago.
off,
But
yeah.
literally right now, how this get made, like they picked that as their how this get made for this week. So I'm recounting it. So I can actually describe it without looking up the plot synopsis.
which I don't even think you could do after you watched it a year ago.
Because the ending literally cops out. So it starts out, Van Damme is this street clown in France, I believe. And
where mimes are usually at.
Yeah. He's walking around stilts, and then he's trying to like get money to feed all the homeless children in the neighborhood. And then he gets kind of... He commits a crime. I think he steals is what happens, but the crime gets over-exaggerated. I think like a police officer dies.
He throws a rock
accident.
at a helicopter and the police officer dies.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Rambo style. So he goes on the run, falls into a cargo ship, wakes up, he gets enslaved by Roger Moore and his outfit, and then
Roger Moore's in it?
Yeah.
I always forget that Roger Moore is still alive.
Yeah.
The term enslaved by Roger Moore should be in every pitch line for every movie ever.
He's a stowaway on the ship. He's enslaved, has to do all this work. Then Roger Moore drops him off at this island where they train fighters. And then he makes a deal. Then Van Damme trains with these guys for a while. Then eventually like escapes and then runs into Roger Moore. And like Roger Moore is actually like this con artist the whole time. So he goes from like the slave trade to other rackets. Then they meet up in some fancy place. And then Van Damme's like, look, if you can get me back to my home, I'll go fight in this tournament, and you can keep the gold and everything, but I get to go home, whatever. So they make some kind of deal like that, and then it's basically Bloodsport from then on out, where he fights a bunch of
Nice.
ethnic stereotypes, and yeah.
I love the idea that Roger Moore is playing Roger Moore. So that's what I believe.
He's like Colonel something or another.
No. He's just a retired. He's just retired Roger Moore.
He's actually James Bond,
Right.
but like
Yes.
after he's kicked out of the MI6.
Right.
Yeah.
And now he's a slave trading con artist.
Yep.
Awesome.
And, yeah, that's the quest, and it's really fucking long and really boring in parts, but totally worthy of being one of the top 10 of 1996.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the fights are badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It takes a while to get there.
There's something redeeming there.
Yeah. Oh, and then the end, because the female shoehorn character in the movie, she's a reporter like Bloodsport, and she's trying to write a story on this quest, a tournament or whatever. So she's following them along, and then after Van Damme wins it, it starts out he's really old in this bar, and he's like relaying the story to the bartender, and then it flashes back to the story you watch where he's young. But then when it's done, it cuts back to the bar, and he flips the book over, which apparently, according to how this get made, it's like it ends at the beginning. So he's been reading it backwards or something the whole time. But it's like she wrote what she saw in his first person point of view. So he's reading her words of his account of what happened. He's reading her interpretation of what he did in the story. Yeah.
Nice.
In his voice.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a better storyteller.
And the summary is, I went home and the kids, they did all right. And
They did all right.
The woman went on to report on other things. I forget what the third thing was, but it's just like so like wrapped
Just like
up
Stand
like
by
that.
Stand by Me, where it's people walking and they fade away.
But much quicker and much more convenient.
It sounds like it's more apathetic too.
Yeah.
And the kids, they did all right.
Yeah. Like because spoilers, he doesn't get the gold dragon at the end, and that was like the whole point was to get the
Wait, the point was to get the gold dragon and not be a slave anymore.
Well, yeah, so he gets to not be a slave, but he goes back to to help homeless children, but he has no money, so don't know how that turned out. I don't know how they turned out fine.
Maybe he gave him magic tricks.
Yeah, they just brighten their day.
That was good. Turned out they didn't want magic; they just wanted food and water.
He just made quarters appear from behind their ears.
That's a Burt Wonderstone recall.
Yeah, it was good.
Ryan, you're number 9.
My number 9 is a buddy comedy. When I was in high school, I hated everyone was like, "Yeah, you look just like Chris Farley." But
hey, see your impression of Chris Farley.
They can't see it. But in all honesty, he is a brilliant comedian. And I still enjoy his movies, even if this one isn't as well loved as Tommy Boy. I still think Black Sheep is a pretty funny movie.
Al Donnelly might just be the next governor of Washington State.
All the way to the Capitol!
There's only one small problem. His brother, Mike.
What the hell is a marquee doing here?
His heart is in the right place. Unfortunately,
Okay, see Al.
the rest of him never is.
Oh my God!
You've got to keep this bozo under wraps.
So now they have to find someone
Then I am your man.
to keep him under control.
Okay, good first day.
I want you to do exactly as I tell you.
Yeah, okay, keep talking.
I know a place way outside of town.
Bunk beds. I got dibs on top.
Okay.
I got dibs on top, bug.
Shut up!
So what do you want to do today?
No!
What's that black thing?
Whoa! What are you doing? Give these got on my belt. Boy, I feel like a horse's patoot.
Paramount Pictures presents
Are you or are you not the Black Angel of Death?
Chris Farley,
Power to the people!
Oh, God, I'm a dead man.
David Spade,
Hey, gang. Is there an Opie convention in town?
The nitrous oxide's leaking into the car.
in a new comedy from the director of Wayne's World.
Check this out. This whole fridge is held up here just by this plug.
Black Sheep.
You okay?
I'm just dandy. I got a bowl of chocolate pudding in my underpants.
We didn't have any pudding in there, buddy.
There's one in every family.
The way Farley is on screen is I couldn't do it, and I know nobody else could ever replicate the enthusiasm and the manic way he acts, because it blows your mind. One of my favorite bits in the whole movie. And so the movie is he's the young dumb brother of a guy who's running for mayor of this city. And so they want to get him out of the way because he's a political liability. So did that fuck it up?
No.
Okay. So they send him out into like this rural county to vote for his brother. And he's at the top of this mountain and he has a pamphlet to vote for Mike Donnelly. And he says, every vote counts. And so he starts walking and then he falls down the mountain and he rolls for like 3 minutes. And then halfway down, he grabs this like little root and he's like, oh, precious root, please stay strong. And it breaks and he keeps on rolling. And it's like another 2 minutes and he gets to the end and he pops up only how Chris Farley can, that super quick, and his hair's all standing up, and he looks back all the way at the top of the mountain and goes, what in the hell was that all about? And he just throws a pamphlet in the mailbox all crinkled up. Yeah, it's just a stupid movie, but it's still really funny.
Is David Spade in this one too?
David Spade is the guy who's trying to keep Farley out of trouble. I mean, there's so many like classic Spade and Farley play so well together. David Spade gets like hosed with this fire extinguisher from these like bully kids in this neighborhood, and he comes back and Farley sees him and says, hey man, what happened? You fall in some mud or something? He said, yeah, I fell in some mud. I'm gonna be really rich too because I'm the only person in the world who knows where you can find white mud. Stupid. It's just dumb. And I mean, then he gets on to MTV Rock the Vote, and Chris Farley's trying to rally him up, and they think that he's Mike Donnelly, running for mayor. So he goes out there and he says, let me tell you something. If Mike Donnelly kicks ass and voting kicks ass, then you got some kick-ass shit. It's just totally stupid. It's a funny movie. I love it. I still watch it all the time. Just because, Sometimes you just need a laugh.
Yeah.
And that's my number 9 movie. Am I the only one who's seen Black Sheep?
I've seen it. It's not in a while.
I've never seen Black Sheep.
I didn't see Tommy Boy until like about 3 years ago, so I
Wow.
don't think I've ever heard of
He's
Black
great
Sheep.
in Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
I think he's a great actor, so...
I love Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
I don't like to laugh.
The laugh?
I know I don't like to laugh.
Oh, yeah, I know. You're... sad man. I don't know. So that's my number 9. Cool. Black Sheep.
I just love how you said that. I don't like to laugh.
Yeah. My number 9 is also a buddy comedy. No. My number 9 is not a great film, but another one that I really enjoyed and still really enjoy. My number 9 is Dragonheart.
1,000 years ago, there lived a man of honor and a creature of legend.
He's the greatest dragon slayer that is. I personally have seen him slay almost 2 dragons.
Haven't had this sort of challenge in some time.
Not likely to again.
They were 2 sworn enemies.
How do you like the ride so far?
I will rid the world of every last one of you. I am the last one. If you win, you'll be out of work.
Who formed an extraordinary alliance.
I hope you like it well done.
This knight is no dragon slayer.
We made a bargain, remember? 1 dragon put down, 1 bag of gold.
Well done, Boyd. It's even bigger than the last one.
Actually, it's about the same size. This time, I'll collect the money, and you can die.
But when the forces of evil threatened the land,
In your kingdom, mine, and there are worse fates than death. Father!
they found there is no honor
Men like you give people courage and hope.
without risk
I wanted to lie!
and no friendship
For I ain't to die, you must destroy me.
without sacrifice.
I go to save the dragon. Who will go with me?
Universal Pictures presents a motion picture that will make you believe. Dragonheart.
I'm not going to stop until every last one of you is dead.
I am the last one.
I knew somebody else knew that line. That's all I remember from that movie.
That's the only line anyone quotes from that movie.
Yeah, that's the only line I remember from it.
I know a lot of lines from that movie, but I watched that I watched that movie probably 10 or 12 times a year.
I always thought the poster was cool.
Yeah, the score is cool. This is one where the majority of the special effects in this movie still look pretty good and look better than any of the sequels that came after it. There's the dragon looks a little waxy from time to time, but as a kid, again, this was a really fun adventure movie. I loved Dennis Quaid. I really liked Sean Connery as a fucking dragon. And it was just fun. I don't know. I still really enjoy this movie, and especially some of the really sweet little scenes with just Dennis Quaid talking to a dragon, where he's sitting around a fireplace and talking about how tough it is to watch your dreams die, and you're just like, oh man. And I'm like a kid, I'm 12 years old, and I'm like, yeah, Dennis Quaid, it is really hard to watch your dreams die. You're right. All you wanted to do was serve a great king. And every king that's ever lived has been a complete dick. And then he gets to kill some people. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then a dragon turns into stars. Which is dumb.
Actually, saw it recently, and I'm trying to remember how.
Yeah?
It might have been Netflix, but yeah, I totally forgot to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Most of the movie, they're just running around grifting people.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. It's it's neat that he gets a dragon, and the first thing he does is do we go steal some money from poor people?
So he's the opposite of Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yeah. Well, because when you meet Dennis Quaid's character, he's just an asshole who hates the world.
So he's Hood Robin.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the
yes. Because he's yeah.
I'm so full of jokes today.
Man.
The exact opposite.
No. Anyway, I really like Dragonheart, and people should check it out.
Yep.
So, cool.
James likes dragons.
I do. Dragons are neat.
I know. I mean, you always mention Reign of Fire's awesome.
Reign of Fire's a dope movie.
And then How to Train Your Dragon.
That's more. Yeah.
Give James a dragon and some Legos. He's a happy guy.
Oh,
give him some dragons, some Legos, and a Mountain Dew.
Lego presents dragons.
Yeah, that's part of why it's so
Starring Matthew
confusing.
McConaughey.
Like, it's
all right. We feed our dragons with Mountain Dew.
It's part of why it's confusing why Game of Thrones is so bad, because that show's got dragons. Like,
Game of Thrones is
how
good.
come they can't make that show entertaining?
What is outside? It sounded like cannons.
Is that Godzilla?
It does sound like Godzilla.
We should close the blinds. If we don't move, he can't see us. That was Godzilla, right?
Yep.
Oh, it's really loud.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll throw a book at him. I'll stop him.
Anyway.
Yeah, but when I was walking around there, it sounded like someone was shooting off a cannon.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. Stay inside.
Weird.
I saw police lights earlier.
Uh-oh. Man.
Maybe some country militia?
Somebody's blowing up propane tanks in their backyard. Either way, Zach, what's your number 8?
Which is translated into my number 8 is Mars Attacks.
What is that? White House is coming out live.
My fellow Americans, this is a momentous occasion. It is profoundly moving to know there is intelligent life out there. Alien life. And our world will never feel quite the same again. Once you believe.
Martians, please come to Earth, please.
Once you rise above fear.
Annihilate! Kill!
Let's not be too rash. Then you'll be invited.
Hi there. Are you interested in the White House?
To meet with a new people.
It's so perfect that it's happening at the beginning of the new millennium.
More powerful than the might of America.
I'll tell you one thing, they ain't getting a TV.
More advanced than the brains of Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a cultural misunderstanding.
But be prepared for a few changes to what we know and love.
Tom Jones, right? It ain't unusual.
As we must learn to dance.
Girls, get out!
To a new tune. Jack Nicholson. Whoa. Why can't we all just get along? Glenn Close.
Kick the crap out of them.
Pierce Brosnan.
What, in your view, are some of the things that the Martians can teach us, Professor?
Quite a lot about Mars, I expect, Natalie.
That means
Danny DeVito.
You want to conquer the world? You're gonna need lawyers, right?
And Annette Bening.
I think they've come to save us.
From director Tim Burton.
Hey, we all make mistakes, Mr. President.
Mars Attacks. Not anymore. We're going to take charge of this thing.
I say I didn't know where you were going with that one.
I immediately knew where you were going.
You know, I saw it on my
one
list
person got it.
because I hate Tim Burton.
Oh, no.
Movie magic.
This is good.
Wait,
Mars
what
Attacks
was that?
is good.
Believe in magic?
No, movie magic.
I'm an artist. No, I love Mars Attacks. It's a nice little throwback to like campy 60s sci-fi. The design of the aliens, oddly enough, scared the shit out of me when I was a kid in the theater, looking, because they showed a preview from it before a very prominent Warner Brothers kids movie, which hasn't been discussed yet. But I remember seeing the trailer and getting freaked out in the middle of the trailer by the way these aliens looked with their bulbous heads that look like brains, and then they shoot people and they just dissolve into skeletons.
Oh yeah,
And
they Buffy.
That's nightmare fuel for children.
Oh yeah.
As I got older, though, it just became this wacky, off the wall, insane comedy sci-fi film that I just still enjoy to this day. I love Jack Nicholson's. Not him as the president, but him as the casino owner.
Yes.
I'm the president. Gentlemen, there is no way that we can lose. And I also like when the one of the Martians is trying to seduce Martin Short as the press secretary, and he takes him into that back room and then just starts biting at his finger and whatnot. Yeah, it's a fun little movie, and the music in it is stellar because it's got nice theremin music, which is something that was used in Burton's previous film,
Ed Wood,
pile of shit.
years ago. Yeah,
no, Ed Wood.
Ed Wood's his second best. It's probably his best movie.
Ed Wood's his best film.
Followed closely by Pee Wee.
Yeah,
very
closely by Pee Wee.
By Big Fish.
No, Big Fish is a piece of shit.
Big Fish is his second best film.
I'd put it Ed Wood, Big Fish, Big Eyes, and then Pee Wee.
Oh, see, bam.
But anyway,
No, guess what I think.
and also just stellar cast, and for some reason,
Helena Bonham Carter in it?
what's the name of the singer again? It's
I don't think she
Tom
is.
Jones. That's it. Tom Jones at the end of it. You're Tom Jones, and for some reason at the end of the movie, he decides to sing "It's Not Unusual," and all these animals come out and start like perching onto his arms, and it's crazy.
I haven't seen it in 20 years. I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah,
it's the second scariest Alien movie of that year for sure.
Yes,
it creeped the shit out of me.
It's the first,
but I really love it. We'll get to it.
Will we?
Yep.
Feel bad for you guys.
I have
and everybody else on Earth.
I genuinely feel like there are going to be 40 different movies on this list at this point. That's a good choice. I love Mars Attacks. Yeah, man, it's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Brad? So Brad's list officially starts now.
Yeah,
that is a accurate statement. Yeah. So my number 10 is Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell is the next generation of animated feature entertainment. The story centers around a life form that evolves from the internet, seeking asylum in a cybernetic human host. The semi-cybernetic team sent to counter this incredible situation are forced to question the meaning of their own lives while engaged in a non-stop action-packed fight against an unseen enemy.
Police! Everyone, hit the ground!
All your memories about your wife and your daughter are false and are more like a dream.
With production values exceeding the legendary Akira and a gripping storyline, this picture represents the leading edge in the new animated entertainment genre and marks a milestone in the future of feature-length animated filmmaking for young adult audiences.
Ghost in the Shell. Released theatrically worldwide, fall 1995.
No build-up.
No, there wasn't. That was just ripping off a Band-Aid.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I think I'm the only one here who watches anime, so...
No, I've just never seen Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
I can't wait to see Scarlett Johansson.
It's hard to follow, but what?
Scarlett Johansson's filming the live-action version right now.
Is she going to be one of the naked robot ladies?
Probably.
Okay.
No, they'll cover her up.
No, dude, have you seen Under the Skin? Oh, God.
It's got to be PG-13, though.
Why?
So they can make money. Otherwise, you would just watch the original.
Deadpool's making everything rated R now.
That's true. Yeah,
We'll see.
Everything's going to be rated R and chock full of nudity and sex.
We'll see if they even finish it.
It's the 70s all over again.
Yeah.
So, Ghost in the Shell, what's that about?
It's about this. It's in the future where people are basically cyborgs. Like they have all these implants to make them better, like help out with their jobs. So she's Kusanagi is this cop who's like tracking down, what's his name? There's some kind of cyber terrorist.
Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
Cyrus the Virus.
It's like the man with no face or something. The faceless man.
Okay.
That sounds terrible. I haven't watched it in a while, but
let's say his name is Cyrus the Virus.
The best part about it is the animation. It has these like sprawling Japanese cities, and the backdrops that are like super detailed.
That's when anime started catching on over here.
I remember like that
really
Ninja Scroll. Like
yeah,
really
I love Ninja Scroll.
Close together.
In 96?
92.
I was gonna say, I guess Ninja Scroll would have been on mine.
Yeah. But yeah, like the animation, like it started to incorporate more computer graphics and stuff. So
yeah,
it's really gorgeous art. The story is hard to follow. but the visuals are pretty stunning. So definitely an anime classic. A lot about I guess a lot of the story is what it means to be human, like what separates us from just being like this consciousness and the physical form. It has like this.
It's very
trying to figure out
influential.
man versus machine type stuff.
I saw it once. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember the design and I remember the logo very clearly and the characters.
The Laughing Man. That's what it was. Sorry.
No, it's fine because it's so ingrained, I think, in popular culture and so influential. Like, I mean, I can pick their characters out anywhere. I might not know their names, but I'll know it's from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, the visual style's pretty striking. And then there's like the Ghost in the Shell, the new movie that came out this year. Like, what a lame subtitle! Like the new movie.
They're like, we don't want to spend the money on localizing this.
Yeah, they had a sequel that came out, I think, like in 90 or 2006, I think, called Ghost in the Shell Innocence, and that was like a deviation from. And then it had that Adult Swim show. Well, I guess it wasn't Adult Swim; they were just playing it. But so there's more expansion on that story, but this is the first original. Kicked everything off, stormed American anime fans. Consciousness, yeah.
Cool.
Ryan, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is a road trip movie. I have a couple of those on this. It starts off as a heist film, and then it takes this really weird detour south of the border. My number 8 film is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Everybody be cool. You be cool. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Low profile. You understand the meaning of the words low profile?
Sure. 2 of America's most dangerous criminals have taken hostages.
What is this? It's called a punch. I'm going to ask you one question, and all I want is a yes or no answer. Do you want to live through this?
Yes.
Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
One night is all that stands between them and freedom.
This is my kind of place.
But it's going to be one hell of a night.
We might be in trouble. We have a bunch of fucking vampires out there trying to get in here and suck our fucking blood.
Now, their only chance is to fight back.
Oh, yeah!
Harvey Keitel, George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Juliette Lewis.
Welcome to slavery.
No, thanks. I already had a wife.
From dusk till dawn.
The opening of this film is a heist movie. Maybe
or like a getaway
movie. There we go. It stars George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino. They're the Gecko brothers, and they are robbers, and they just got out of jail, something like that.
Yeah, or they're escaping.
They're escaping. They're going to get to
They're
Mexico.
insurance salesmen.
Yeah. So the opening of the movie is, I would say, a Quentin Tarantino film. Tarantino wrote the script, but it's has his sensibilities where it's, snappy dialogue, just them. I think the opening scene in the convenience store is like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Of them just, probably not that long, but they're trying to. Their cop shows up and they're hiding out.
They end up kidnapping a family full
kidnapping
a Winnebago family.
Harvey Keitel and Juliette Lewis and some Asian kid.
I love the first half of that film.
Yeah. And then it goes batshit crazy.
Yep.
They go to a bar where they're meeting Cheech Marin's character called the Titty Twister. And while they're there, they find out that it's actually a place where vampires feed on truckers. And Selma Hayek is super gorgeous in this. I don't think she's aged a year. I saw her recently. I'm like, holy cow, she looks stunning still.
Yeah.
And the special effects are great. It's by Greg Nicotero and KMB. And then it goes, then it's straight Robert Rodriguez, where it's just balls to the wall, gory, over the top. And I think George Clooney in it is really good. One of my favorite moments actually in the film, besides at the beginning, at there's two moments with George Clooney I love. Is after he comes back and his brother, who Quentin Tarantino plays, killed their hostage, who is a teacher, and he comes up to him, he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And he has this like moment with Tarantino, and it's super powerful because he realizes his brother's a liability, and this is what we do. You know, Clooney doesn't want to kill people if he doesn't have to. And then
it's like Clooney is a criminal, but realizes his brother is actually an evil person.
Exactly, and it's great because they have a moment too where they're driving with the family, and you know Tarantino's looking at Juliette Lewis, and he's imagining her as like, "Will you fuck me?" And he has to say, "Hey, up here, up here, up here." And there's a point where he even knocks him out because he's acting too crazy. But my favorite moment at the end is they kill all the vampires, and George Clooney comes out, and he's talking to Cheech Marin, and he says, Cheech Marin says, "What's wrong, Seth? Those guys fucking psychos or something?" He's like, "Psychos? Do psychos explode when exposed to sunlight?" "No, they are vampires, and I'm not giving you your cut." He's like, "I'm only giving you 10%, 15. My brother is fucking dead. You understand me? My brother is fucking dead. 12." It's a really funny ending, and I really like the film. I think it's clever.
Yeah.
I recently rewatched it. It still holds up really well.
It's higher on my list.
Is it? Yes.
Yeah.
First leg swept. So yeah, from Dusk Till Dawn.
Cool. It's a good one.
Yep.
My number, what are we at? 8? Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool. My number 8 is it's a movie I didn't see until college. But mostly because like I'm not a big horror movie guy. And so you look at the cover of this movie and you're like, "Oh, that's a really terrifying movie." But the truth is, this is a pretty fun adventure movie that probably I should have seen with my family when I was younger. And it's also an early Peter Jackson film.
Ooh.
My number 8 is The Frighteners.
Almost made mine.
There has been a destructive force unleashed on this town such as I have never seen.
Oh my God, I don't believe this is not happening!
We have got a poltergeist!
Okay, well, folks, I can do a clearance, but it's not going to be cheap. Although I do offer a 6-month guarantee.
That fellow takes us totally for granted.
Hey, Stuart, in or out, huh?
Frank Bannister had a remarkable ability.
Psychic investigator?
To communicate with the dead.
You could see spirits?
Emanations are normally confined to the cemetery.
You cannot push spirits around!
Although they do escape.
And an uncanny knack.
We're gonna scare the living daylights out of your parents.
For making a profit off the living.
We're supposed to be his business partners.
Everyone says that you're a fraud, but I've seen what you can do.
Give it up, Frank. Death ain't no way to make a living.
But now, some things put the fear of death in the living.
What is happening to me?
And sent the dead running for their lives.
I've seen a figure in a cape.
That was the soul collector. When your number's up, that's it.
Frank, we got problems. All these murders that have been going on in Fairwater, they're gonna pin them on you.
From Universal Pictures and Robert Zemeckis.
You're next, pal.
And acclaimed director Peter Jackson.
We don't stop till the screaming starts, you dig?
The Frighteners.
Yeah, I remember watching this movie in college, and I don't remember why it came up. But I'm watching through this movie going like, this is awesome. Like, this is such a fun, funny, sometimes scary, but mostly kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of movie. Basically, Michael J. Fox plays a guy who, his wife is killed and he figures out that he can talk to the dead. And so he uses that to con people. And as he's going around conning these people, he ends up running into this, there's this really super evil dude who dies, and now his spirit is going around and killing the living, and then also eating their souls in the afterlife. He's got a couple of ghost friends, or at least one. Now I can't remember.
It's 2.
Yeah, it's 2. He's got a couple of ghost friends who are this sort of slapstick kind of comedy, sidekick character. And it's a really fun movie. This is what I was alluding to earlier, where this is also a movie that feels very like there's some CG here, but it's a lot of compositing, and it's still pretty practical. And I think it looks pretty great. It's got some of that. It's kind of like if you go back and watch The Shadow, and you can tell where, since they didn't really have CG, like there's cartoon elements in the movie. The Frighteners kind of feels like that.
I think Michael J. Fox is great in this movie.
Oh, he's so much fun. It's really good. Just talking about it, I want to, like, in putting this list together, because I haven't seen it in a couple years, like, it made me really want to go back and watch The Frighteners. So yeah, totally worth checking out. Zach?
My number 7 is is from two of my favorite writers of all time and one of my favorite directors of all time. My number 7 is The People versus Larry Flint.
You got a real naked woman there, okay? A beautiful girl.
Thank you, Mr. Flint.
Just shoot her.
There's a new, darker influence in Cincinnati.
If you don't like Hustler magazine, don't read it. I don't. We're breaking taboos.
How about a 50-year-old centerfold?
How about The Wizard of Oz?
Hustler
depicts Santa Claus in a lewd and shameful manner.
Decent people are being corrupted.
Ohio Governor Jim Rhodes was spotted buying the infamous Jackie O issue.
God Almighty will judge you.
It was your intention to hold Reverend Falwell out to be a hypocrite.
Well, that's what he is.
You have a strong civil liberties case on your hands.
Are you ashamed to have your husband locked up?
I'd rather have a man that stands up for what he believes in.
You're so beautiful. All I do is publish a magazine. If you break moral laws, you reap the whirlwind. Hallelujah!
Mr. Flint, is that an American flag you have on that?
If you're gonna treat me like a baby, I'm gonna act like one.
You're just taking this too far now.
I've just closed my eyes again. Climbed aboard the Dreamweaver train.
Unpopular speech is absolutely vital to the health of our nation.
Ooh, Dreamweaver.
I'm not trying to convince you that you should like what Larry Flint does. I don't like what Larry Flint does. But what I do like is that I live in a country where you and I can make that decision for ourselves. You get on that plane, I quit.
You don't want to quit me. I'm your dream client. I'm the most fun. I'm rich, and I'm always in trouble.
If anybody doesn't know what The People vs. Larry Flint is, it's about Larry Flint, the publisher of
Penthouse.
Penthouse, yes. And I always get it mixed up with Hustler. And basically chronicles how he got Penthouse started. Also the different trials.
No, I think it's Hustler.
Yeah. It is Hustler, yeah.
I think Larry Flint's Hustler.
That's Hustler.
Whatever, they're all the same.
And like, he publishes a dirty magazine.
Yeah.
And and that isn't Playboy. And he gets caught up in a lot of different court cases, civil liabilities, and public what would you call it?
Indecency?
Public indecency. Just downright like anti-First Amendment situations. And his lawyer, played by Edward Norton, they have to kind of team up throughout the movie, going from case to case to case. And at some point, something happens to Larry that causes him to become an isolated nut. The most iconic part of this film is probably the fact that after this incident, he locks himself in a vault with his wife and doesn't come out for months and even years on end, until a subpoena shows up at his door again, and then the police show up at his door, and it becomes national news. Woody Harrelson is wonderful in this movie. I cannot stress it enough.
I think it was the first movie where people took him seriously.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. This was, and he nails it from beginning to end, adapting to the situations in Larry Flint's life where he becomes paralyzed, and talking with the voice the way that after having a stroke, and just like the different subtleties in his performance just really stand out. And Edward Norton's actually really good in it too, although his character's kind of minimal to a degree. And it's directed by Milos Forman, who directed One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Man on the Moon, Amadeus. So it's got a great pedigree. If you haven't seen it, it's written by Scott Alexander and Larry Karaszewski, who wrote Ed Wood, Man on the Moon, Big Eyes. So if you haven't seen it, and Problem Child, and so if you haven't seen it before, I don't think it's on Blu-ray, sadly, but it's probably on one of the streaming services like Amazon Prime and stuff like that. I would definitely check it out.
Cool.
Brad?
All right, I'm going to sweep some legs with this one.
Nice.
My number 7 is another foreign film called Rumble in the Bronx.
To millions of fans around the world, he's a living legend. If you've never seen him before,
It's him! Give me that gun!
you've never seen action.
We got hostages! They're in a hovercraft! Call out the Coast Guard!
New Line Cinema presents the action hero who does all his own stunts. Jackie Chan.
Are you okay? No!
Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah, so Rumble in the Bronx, it's not Jackie Chan's first movie, but it's the first movie that I started to pay attention because I think this is the one that exploded into North America. It's Jackie Chan plays this guy who comes over to comes to New York to help out with his friend's grocery store. And the area there in the Bronx is being like harassed by gangs. And so once Jackie Chan shows up, he puts a stop to that, and then the gangs get all pissed off. And so they rumble in the Bronx in clever choreographed fight sequences and amazing stunts that only Jackie Chan can do.
Oh yeah, the way he moves is incredible.
Yeah, and the way he uses his environment to do stuff, like to do his stunts, is just so creative.
Yeah.
And then this crime syndicate uses the gangs to their own plans. There's like 3 different storylines going on, and eventually the gangs that Jackie Chan was fighting realize that they can work together and help each other out, and they become friends. And that's like an interesting side twist of the whole thing.
He teaches them peace?
He brings them peace. And then they beat up the crime syndicate. And then Jackie Chan pilots a hovercraft that he breaks his ankle on.
Yeah.
And
I remember that, yeah.
And at the very end of the movie, he drives down to a golf course and squishes the crime boss and rips off his pants.
Wait. And then what?
That's the end of the movie. They like high five in the aircraft.
He just steals his pants?
The hovercraft rolls over him and shreds his whole suit off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And they high five. And then they show a reel of all the horrible things that happen to the stunt people.
Which became a thing in Jackie Chan movies.
Oh, yeah. Always something to look forward to at the end of... Hell, it's the best part is Rush Hour 3.
Is Rush Hour 3 even a movie? Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I try to forget.
It's real bad. Rush Hour 3 is real bad.
I remember Rush Hour 2 being really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
What happened? That's where I stopped. That's where the movie stopped.
Yeah, don't go see Rush Hour 3.
And then
it's real bad.
New Line was like, we want another one of these. We really don't have any ideas of what to do, so just make it. Just put them back in front of camera.
Where's my movie?
That's my Chris Tucker.
Just send them to Paris, put them on a green screen, we'll be fine. They'll make it up as they go. But yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, it's also like hilariously overdubbed. I think Jackie Chan has his own voice, but everyone else has like American voices.
Huh.
I think. It's not done well. But it's funny in that kung fu way.
Yeah, right.
Kung fu film way. So yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, awesome.
Very cool. Good choice. Where'd you go on?
My number 7 again is not a critical darling, but again, for me, it's what I have fun watching. And a story about a hockey player playing golf to me is funny. My number 7 is Happy Gilmore.
For 400 years, golf has been a gentleman's game. A game of tradition, etiquette, and above all, sportsmanship. Until now.
Y'all ready for this?
Meet Happy Gilmore. He was a hockey player.
That's my puck, baby! Don't you ever touch my puck!
Who was skating on thin ice. But when his grandma needed his help...
Mrs. Gilmore owes the IRS $270,000. We're gonna have to sell the house to someone else.
But she's an old lady. I mean, look at her. She's old.
He discovered a new talent.
The house is like 400 yards away. That's unbelievable.
Now he's going from the rinks
Step right up, folks. See if you can outdrive the amazing golf ball whacker guy.
to the links.
Hey, where you going with those clubs, punk? I'm your caddy.
He's gonna be on the tour. That's super.
He's got the swing. He's got the drive.
He shoots, he scores!
He's got the balls.
Oh, God, that hurt a little, but I'm all right.
Quite a large and economically diverse crowd here at Invitational. I guess it's the new tour sensation, Happy Gilmore.
Hey, if I saw myself in clothes like those, I'd have to kick my own ass.
And while he's trying to keep Granny out of the rest home,
I'm telling you, this place is perfect. You're gonna make friends in no time.
Get me out of here!
he's driving the game of golf.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Straight into the ground.
Damn you people, this is golf!
I'm Bob Barker. Looks like you and I are going to be playing together today.
This guy sucks. All right, let's go.
Universal Pictures presents Adam Sandler
The price is wrong, Bob.
as golf's missing link, Happy Gilmore.
It's just fun.
Until you said that, I had no idea he was a hockey player.
Yeah.
That's the movie I always catch, like, in the middle of.
Oh, you've never seen the whole movie?
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's a really bizarre movie. To me, it's if I had to pick Adam Sandler humor, I think Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore are why they're so popular amongst Sandler fans. Is because it has a sense of humor where there is some kind of dark stuff in it, and also stuff that's just stupid.
Ben Stiller in
Ben
that
Stiller
movie.
plays like a evil orderly that Happy Gilmore's grandma. Like he has to put her. She loses her house, so he puts her in this retirement home, and as they're driving up, this like crazy lady with her makeup all over her face jumps on his car. Is like, Mister, get me out of here! And it's really weird. And so Ben Stiller comes off whenever Happy's around as, you know, like, hey, I'll take really good care of her. And I always love the part where, you know, it's her first day there, and Happy's leaving, and he says, hey man, see that lady there? I want you to take extra special care of her. And he offers him $1. He's like, no, I'll take extra special care of that little lady for nothing. And Happy Gilmore's grandma says, can I have trouble you for a warm glass of milk? It helps me sleep. And Ben Stiller says, you can trouble me with a warm glass of shut the hell up. You're in my world now, Granny. And then later on, it cuts to him hawking quilts on the black market. It's so ridiculous. Interstitialed with Happy trying to raise money playing golf and beating up Bob Barker, and yeah, it's funny. I don't know what else to say. It's just goofy.
Huh.
It's on nobody else's list. Weird.
It's a good movie though.
No, I have fun watching it. Like I said, it's just silly. And Carl Weathers is really funny in it. He plays a golfer who's his name's Chubbs, and he's one of the greatest golfers ever until he played at the TPC Sawgrass and an alligator bit his hand off. So Happy plays there, and he kills the alligator, and he gives the alligator head as a gift to Chubbs, and it scares him so much that he falls out of his apartment window and dies. You know.
Wait, he gives the alligator head?
Yeah, so Happy goes to the same golf course where Chubbs lost his hand, and he kills the alligator, and so as a gift, he gives the severed alligator head to Chubbs.
Okay, the head.
Yeah.
I was with you, Brad. I was like, what the fuck?
I missed that part of the movie.
And then he lifts it open, and it scares him so much he falls out of the window. Like, dies. It's just stupid Adam Sandler stuff. When his girlfriend breaks up with him, he's like singing to her in the intercom downstairs, and she goes away, and then it cuts, and there's this like old Asian lady listening to him singing, I wanna kiss you all over. And so he buzzes her up and it's the old Asian lady. And Adam Sandler's like, and so the next scene is him like running out of his house, and the Asian lady comes out with just underwear and says, "Hey, you know what, breakfast?" So he still slept with her. Like, to me, that's just like Adam Sandler goofy humor. Yeah, I love Happy Gilmore.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on sucking off a headless alligator.
I was like, dude, they got a cloaca. Like, they don't even have external genitalia.
Anyways, James, what's your number 7? What the fuck are you guys talking about?
I heard the same thing you did, Brad. I was very confused. Anyway, are we my number 7? Mm-hmm. That's where we are. Okay, cool. This is where shit's gonna start getting real. We're getting down to like the meat of 1996. So my number 7 is Independence Day.
Police and the fire departments are asking.
It is morning. You wake up.
Hey, come on.
You greet your loved ones. You grab the morning paper. And although it seems like any ordinary day, it isn't. For one extraordinary reason.
Historic and unprecedented event has occurred. The question of whether or not we are alone in the universe has been answered.
This is so cool.
More ships have just arrived over India, England, and Germany.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to come down here and start a fight.
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all!
They're using their own satellites against us. The clock is ticking. Launch a counteroffensive with a full nuclear strike.
Over American soil.
If we don't strike soon, there may not be much of an America left to defend.
We're being exterminated.
Let's kick the tires and light the fires.
We're looking at worldwide destruction in the next 36 hours.
Oh, you can't hit nothing! Get him out of there!
Should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on, we're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
That's what I call a close encounter.
This is the birth of Big Willie Weekend right here. Mm-hmm. This is what the late 90s was about. This is for me, like, actually a bit like when I meet human beings who were born after into a world where Independence Day already exists. I'm like, I just feel old.
This is where Will Smith took over Earth.
God, he doesn't say that. It's not even what he does. He saves Earth. Sorry. Yeah, I don't need to explain what Independence Day is. But it's. Can I take a second to just say how fucking badass Brad's poster for this episode is in its Independence Day theme.
I wasn't sure I didn't hear much.
With the RNP in the background in the same crazy font. Oh my gosh. I was like bragging yesterday and showing it off to people. I'm like, oh, have you seen this shit? Look at this shit.
I did
that. Like, you want to suck this guy's dick? Who made this?
I did that instead of doing my job.
And we thank you for it.
Actually, it was on my lunch break.
But yeah,
Brad's like, I can do that in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right.
I still to this day remember seeing Independence Day in theaters. Being genuinely terrified when Bill Pullman gets attacked by when the thing breaks through and it kills Brent Spiner, who apparently is still alive for the sequel.
And I didn't realize it was Brent Spiner until like years.
Oh,
like
really?
I watched the movie in '96, being like, God, that guy looks familiar. Huge Star Trek fan, not putting it together.
Oh my goodness,
yeah.
They don't let you out much. That's an Independence Day joke.
Oh, there's jokes in that movie?
Yep.
Some would say the whole movie is a joke.
You know, of all of the movies that everybody loves, this is like one of my least favorite movies ever.
Really?
I don't think it's that good at all.
It is very much of its time. It is very much a film that, like, I love it now, almost ironically, but I genuinely enjoyed it when I was a kid.
You have a sweet Blu-ray coming out. I might get it.
Yeah.
And to remind me of how much I hate the movie.
Straight up, Bill Pullman's speech at the end, other than the fact that he should just say, this is, like, yeah, other than the "This is our Independence Day" line, which I don't like, but his whole speech about, like, "We will not go quietly into the night" is still one of the best president speeches in film.
Isn't that co-opting a real speech, though?
Maybe.
Like the "Go quietly into the night"?
Well, go quietly into the night is from a poem.
Oh.
But it's the poem that's in
The Raven.
No. It's James Dunn. It's in the movie with Matthew McConaughey in space, Interstellar. It's the Interstellar poem. Anyway, whatever.
We don't know anything about Matthew McConaughey. Only you do,
just
James.
saw you all saw the movie.
I didn't memorize the movie.
Well, I'm just saying.
Or how many ripples there are in his Matthew McConaughey's abs. That's what you do, James.
We'll get to Matthew McConaughey later.
He doesn't
right?
have a 6-pack yet.
Just hold on. Just hold on. We'll get to Matthew McConaughey later.
Is he in this year?
Zach, don't say anything.
Yeah, speech is awesome.
Yeah, the speech is awesome. Yeah, it's a fun movie. The ending is dumb, where they give the aliens a virus or whatever, but I don't give a shit because it's fun.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
It's fun. It's if you know anything about programming, it's like so not possible. Like that's not how any of that works.
Yeah, but Jeff Goldblum,
right?
But
But
like
so
the smartest person we have.
What I was just gonna say is like the chemistry between Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith, like those two guys bouncing off each other, is really fun dialogue to watch, and they're charismatic as shit. Like it's a cool movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. And you get to see like all kinds of shit blow up, which that was all stuff that felt very new. It was like,
and then cut to 2007, and Roland Emmerich is still doing the same shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's still it's super dumb now
because of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
The world disaster thing.
I mean, this movie.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't deny this movie's influence on cinema, but to me, I don't like it. I've never liked the movie.
And I would say on Will Smith's career, like I think he was gonna have a great career one way or the other, but like this movie made him instantly a huge star.
Oh, I agree.
And is why there was a Big Willie weekend for like 3 or 4 years there.
And all he needed was Wild Wild West to make it not happen anymore.
I know, right? Like that's how bad Wild Wild West was. Sheesh. But yeah, plus also Wild Wild West. Like that's around the time that he starts doing like Ali, and he wants to start getting serious. So I think he wanted to get away from
turn to Big Willie Christmas.
Yeah, he didn't want to be Big Willie anything anymore.
I want to be Big Willie anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's my number 7. He also doesn't say Earth. Zach, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is a movie by Alexander Payne, the director of Election and Nebraska. This was his first film. It is called Citizen Ruth.
Meet Ruth Stoops. The cops know her by name.
Ruth, wake up.
Ruth! The judge knows her on sight.
Do you know how many times you've been arrested in the last year and a half?
5.
16 times. You're sick of me.
But nobody ever really noticed her.
You know you're pregnant? Why don't you just do us all a favor and go take care of this problem?
Now, everybody wants a piece of her.
When we heard about your case, I just knew we had to help.
They want to use you to send a message.
Ruth Stoops, I have a couple of questions about your case.
This is a private matter.
Oh, no, that's it.
Wait.
One side is pulling from her left.
There's always women like you who are most victimized by anti-choice. Third world women, women of color.
I'm not a color woman.
The other side is pushing from her right.
God loves your baby.
The baby savers are declaring a national alert.
And both sides.
Car! You have got the devil inside you!
Will pay anything.
I am holding here a check for $15,000. $15,000!
To get their message delivered.
Do you think you're ready to have a child?
Yeah, I have 4 other kids and I didn't make a cent.
Miramax Films presents Swoozie Kurtz, Kelly Preston, Burt Reynolds, and Laura Dern.
Oh, what do I do now?
Citizen Ruth.
I have no idea what this is.
Citizen Ruth is about a paint.
That's a Mystery Science Theater callback. Ruth.
Citizen Ruth is...
Cal, I'm in one of these boxes. Come find me.
Hannah and Her Sisters is a movie directed by Woody Allen. That's a real nerd's callback. Citizen Ruth is about a paint-huffing slacker who gets pregnant. And she gets dragged into the debate of pro-abortion versus anti-abortion. It's a really dark comedy, much like Election. If you've seen Election, you kind of know how far it can go.
Sure.
Are you
just watching that scene to see if
that
it
is
says Welcome to
awesome.
Earth?
Welcome to Earth. Earth.
Yeah, Earth. And for the record, Ryan, right now I'm playing it for everybody else at home too, so they can hear all the articulation.
He does. I was wrong.
Maybe that's just the DVD version, and in the theater he says it.
Thank you.
They're like, "Oh shit, we didn't correct this before we put it out."
We've birthed this whole conspiracy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you, Zach.
No, it's okay. This is way better than
just
talking about Citizen Ruth.
We just had to clean up 10 or 15 years of racist. 20 shit.
I wasn't being racist. I just said you didn't say it right.
No, you're not the only person who just assumed that a black man is going to say "earth."
I did not assume.
Anyway,
so Citizen Ruth is the story of, it's a dark comedy that kind of plays on the whole abortion debate.
Catch up.
No, I'm not saying because he did Election and things like that.
Yeah,
that's all he does.
Right.
Yeah, because it's Laura Dern's. It's my favorite Laura Dern performance.
Cool.
Just the way she handles herself is kind of like a.
I'd say Jurassic Park 3, but we each have our own.
Really? Over the first one?
Well, she's got kids in the third one. You really feel like she's got something to fight for.
She really grabs the pathos the way she just speaks through that receiver.
Through that one scene.
I think she's in 2.
Says more than
Alan?
anything has
Alan?
ever said.
Are you there, Alan?
And with that, we know
That's
that
all her
something's wrong. So yeah, Citizen Ruth. If you haven't seen Will Smith Save the Earth or Laura Dern asks for Alan Grant, then you will totally love Citizen Ruth. Don't know where I was going with that.
Sure.
We have derailed Zach.
Yeah.
You've derailed my derailed. It's going into a black hole now.
Yeah. All right, cool. Sorry, Zach.
Good luck finding a trailer for that one.
I can find all. Yeah, it'll be fine.
There's a trailer.
Everything's on the internet.
Just make up your own.
Yeah.
Citizen Ruth, anti-abortion.
Alan Grant is calling you to tell you not to have an abortion.
Use a suction, not a hanger.
That's horrible. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh.
This is the best episode ever.
This is so awful.
Make sure you scrape that.
No, don't. We're stop. I'm shutting this shit down.
Don't worry, the baby won't cry. It has undeveloped senses.
Oh no! It's just Brad.
It has
quick,
no
Brad.
feelings.
What are we on?
Brad,
What number?
6. Just move us along, please.
All right. I'd like to tell you my number 6, but it's going to self-destruct in the next 5 seconds.
You fucker.
My number 6 is Mission Impossible.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. Should you or any member of your IM force be caught or killed, the Secretary will disavow all knowledge of your actions. Ethan Hunt will be your point man as usual. Good luck, Jim.
Simple game. Is he serious?
Always.
It's much worse than you think.
We're being ambushed. Abort, that's an order. They knew we were coming. Do you read me?
I don't care how he did it. I want to know why he did it.
You're worried about me. Why you survived.
I'm sure we can find something I have that you need.
No one sent me.
These guys are trained to be ghosts. Let's not waste time chasing after him. Just make him come to us. Find something that's personally important to him, and you squeeze.
This whole operation was a decoy.
I can understand you're very upset.
You've never seen me very upset.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Or possible. I don't know.
Well, he's just tired and slap happy at this point.
Mission Impossible is a great movie.
It's fantastic, yeah.
It's awesome. It's not my favorite Mission Impossible, but it's definitely like each one of them is so different. And this one's Brian De Palma, so it's really like quiet and like meticulous. Is how to
yeah. There's less threat in this one because, like, for example,
it's very contained.
In 5, he runs away from like these giant, sandstorms. In the first one, he runs away from a fish tank.
Yeah,
but it's still awesome because he takes guns
through a fish
and
tank.
he throws
so
it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like one of those quiet, like European thrillers type things. But and at the time, the whole train sequence with the helicopter blowing up on it and like ripping his face off was all like cutting edge stuff, and the iconic like lowering into the room where all the senses are like accounted for and stuff, which is like so
I think it's one of the
gripping.
most iconic action movies of the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it had so many scenes in it that were replicated in other movies.
Yeah, lampooned into other things. Yeah.
Isn't that like Tom Cruise at his peak?
No,
I don't think Tom
I would
Cruise
say
is
Tom Cruise on the
ever
way
peaked.
up. Yeah, like
Tom Cruise is always at a plateau.
Okay, maybe his 90s peak.
I feel like between like there is an incline from Cocktails to Mission Impossible.
That's probably when he
Cocktail?
took off as an action star, maybe?
Yeah, for sure.
Because before that, he was just doing like dramas and stuff, right?
Yeah, like I really feel like this is him as a like.
I don't know. He's in Top Gun and Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, an action
remember
movie.
in Days of Thunder when he showed up on the racetrack in a motorcycle and wearing sunglasses?
But as much as
Racing
I
Michael
love
Rooker through the streets.
as much as I love Top Gun is a movie with a lot of like not action crying and goose eyes. Like it's
Whoa, spoilers, bro.
Oh, sorry.
There's this.
I haven't seen this movie.
What's a Top Gun? No, but Mission Impossible. I think too. It showed that Tom Cruise can carry action movies and have a lot of weight to his performances. Because there's that awesome scene where he figures out who the bad guy is. Where they're just having that back and forth, and that's the strength of De Palma's script. Is they're just going back and forth, and Hunt is starting to put together what happened. Oh, so great.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I thought it was like spoilers for if you haven't seen it, but like making the hero of the series the villain.
Yeah,
like was pretty like a cool script.
James's parents didn't like that.
Man, my mom hates that. Yeah. Like she's still she loves Mission Impossible, but she exists in a world where that's not who that is. Where like that's not Phelps at all.
But for the longest time, like I hadn't seen him in a while, and I thought that was what's his name?
John Voight.
No, not John Voight. The guy who played him in the original series.
Oh,
he also did like Annie. God, what's his name?
I don't know.
Some old dude.
Mr. Phelps.
The old, white-haired dude. But anyway, I literally, like,
thought Leslie Nielsen.
I thought that actor was playing, like, I totally forgot about John Voight. Like, erased him from the movie and thought it was the other guy. Which would have been cool if they actually used...
Yeah, that would have been really crazy.
Then
my mom
Phelps.
would hate that film. It's like she wouldn't watch it. Yeah. No.
But maybe he didn't do it because he's like, I don't want to play villain. I'm a good guy.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. But she was a big fan of that show, like, growing up. And so that was an example of, like, just shitting all over people.
That's like if they took
really...
Spider-Man and changed it to me.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, or you've got somebody and he's like trying to figure out, and then you end up finding out, like, oh no, Peter Parker's been like,
passing the torch to Miles Morales. Peter Parker is actually,
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah, Mission Impossible. Pretty sweet.
Movie.
Man, turned into one of the most consistently great franchises probably ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
man.
Yeah, they didn't make the sequel till like 4 years later.
Yeah. Yep. It's cool. It's very cool.
So right off the bat, I will
6 years later.
apologize for my number 6 film because 2 guys on this podcast are going to hate me for it. I was a late comer to this series.
No!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
But this is the first movie that had the new crew, and it let me... For me, by themselves.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
And it made me realize how much of a badass Jean-Luc Picard is.
Yeah.
My number 6 film is Star Trek First Contact.
In his nightmares, he can see them. In his mind, he can hear them.
Locutus.
In his soul, he can feel them.
I've just received a report from Deep Space 5. Long-range sensors have picked up...
Yes, I know. The Borg. Set a course for Earth. Maximum warp.
Now, in Earth's darkest hour, he must fight them again.
Captain, Earth. Life signs?
Population approximately 9 billion. All Borg.
How?
Time travel. They went back and assimilated Earth. Changed history. I must follow them back. Repair whatever damage they've done.
But this time, they must travel to the past.
April 4th, 2063.
To save our future.
You're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek. They invade our space, and we fall back. They assimilate entire worlds, and we fall back. Not again. The line must be drawn here.
It looks like the control deck's 26 up to 11.
Mr. Data and I are returning to the ship.
Don't let them touch you! Captain!
Data! We must activate the auto-destruct sequence. You want to destroy the ship and run away. You coward.
If you were any other man, I would kill you where you stand.
Let's rock and roll!
Destroy them. Watch your futures end.
We've lost shields and our weapons are gone.
Resistance is futile. Perhaps today is a good day to die.
Jean-Luc, blow up the damn ship!
No! We are not going to lose the Enterprise. Not to the Borg, not while I'm in command.
Star Trek First Contact.
Remember that scene where he's like hanging and he's like totally fucking ripped? You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And he's fighting like this female Borg. Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then Worf is on the deflector dish and he blasts that Borg off of it. And he fires another shot into the deflector dish and goes like, assimilate this.
And then they
how cool is assimilate?
They adjust to the phaser wavelengths or whatever, so then he gets that
Rotating
fucking
modulation.
batleth and he just starts chopping people up.
And then his suit gets impaled,
Yeah,
so
so
he
he
ties
uses-
it off with a Borg's arm.
With an arm.
No, this movie's badass.
Zombies in space, man.
Yeah.
It was one of those movies where, you two guys have always harked me, hey, you watch Star Trek. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck Star Trek.
Just like that.
I like Star
That's exactly
Wars.
how it sounds.
But I only saw this film, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I think. But I got it because the set was on sale on Amazon on Black Friday 2 years ago. The Next Generation set was like $19.
Yeah.
Which
like
is
4 movies, so.
Yeah, but it's also like $50 off.
Yeah.
And it's like Generations is a fun movie, but this movie I think elevates the Next Generation crew because they don't have to be tied to the original cast.
Yeah.
And I think
I'd say they've been trying to replicate this movie ever since.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just there's so much at stake in this. You don't think Picard is going to make it. And
It's such a cool plot too. Like by
Yeah.
comparison to most of the like very straightforward sci-fi action movies, either in your Star Wars or your more modern Star Treks and that kind of stuff. Like this is there's a whole time travel plot. Like
Yeah.
there's this whole thing with like Riker down there hanging out with William Hurt and
I
drinking
remember
beer
the
and
scene
stuff.
where
and like
Picard
William
is
Hurt.
in the
yeah,
fuck you guys.
isn't it William Hurt?
trying to remember his name.
Yeah, no, it's James Cromwell.
James
Sorry,
Cromwell,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
James Cromwell is awesome.
Yeah, he's so good.
There's a lot of great scenes. I'm trying to remember the one with Picard where he's in like a conference room and he's like yelling at people.
Oh yeah,
The line must be drawn here.
Yeah,
it's all Moby Dick.
This
thing.
far, no farther.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
If his chest had been a cannon, it would have shot his heart upon it. What?
Because even
Moby Dick.
It opens like in he's having like a nightmare.
Yeah.
It opens crazy. I mean, I never saw the episode that it's based on. Obviously,
You can buy that as its own Blu-ray.
Really?
Like that whole 2-parter.
Yeah.
So since if you don't want to watch the whole series, you can just buy that.
I might do
episode.
that because it's
cool.
the movie's pretty badass.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's just that part you don't realize how ripped Picard is, and like this dude's a badass.
Total action star, yeah.
And it introduces, the Borg is a very loved race by Star Trek fans, and it introduces a lot of new ideas and like changes the Borg in a lot of ways, and most people are totally cool with some of that stuff. Like not everybody loves the Queen, but like nanotechnology and that kind of stuff, like that movie makes the Borg fucking super cool.
Yeah.
In the series, there's no talk about a queen. Like it's just a hive.
No. Yeah.
Mind.
But it's just like I never thought movies like that I'd enjoy, and they're pretty awesome. So
absolutely,
yep, that's my number 6.
That's a good one.
Did you at any point think that Data had fully turned?
No.
0.2
because here's the thing is I knew that there's other movies after it.
Oh, that's true.
So I had the luxury
Makes
of
sense.
that.
Have you ever gone and finished the other ones? Have we talked about? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I talked about them.
Sheesh.
Guess what?
Let's not.
They
talk
do
about
this.
them again.
Dun, 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 dun. Meow. There's still some fun parts in them, though.
Yeah,
I won't say they're all pieces of shit. I still think they're more fun than most movies.
Yeah, the car chase in the beginning of Nemesis is all right. Until it's done better in Serenity. My number 6?
Yep.
Cool. My number 6 is a movie I have not seen until today. This was a movie that when we decided to do 1996, I saw it on the list for that year and was like, oh shit. Because I had been getting so much crap specifically from my mom, like, oh, you have got to watch this movie. It is so good. And so I realized it wasn't going to be possible for me to do a 1996 top 10 list without getting a chance to see A Time to Kill, which is my number 6.
You got a daughter, Jake. What would you do?
I figure there's a lot of people out there tired of all the raping, killing. They'd be sympathetic to a man who took the law in his own hand. Even if he is black.
Our society cannot condone men who take the law into their own hands, no matter what the circumstance.
How do you wish to plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Yeah, you sure you want to be known as the man that defended that murderer? Why toss away a promising career?
I'd really like to help you with the trial. You ever seen a man executed? What I suggest you do is you go watch a man be executed. You watch him die. You watch him beg.
I don't like your politics, but you do have passion, and that's something Carl Lee needs right now, and maybe so do I.
If you was on that jury, what would it take to set me free?
You sat me down, and you said to me, what I can offer you is a chance to save the world one case at a time.
He's taking justice out of your hands and put it in his own.
You tell them boys we need some clan down here in camp.
We've been getting calls at home, threats.
Your marriage is on the rocks. You're about to have an affair.
Lately, you've become much more interested in getting your face on the news than what's going on with your own family.
Don't let those bastards grind you down.
I set out to prove a black man could receive a fair trial. That's not the truth. So until that day, we have a duty to seek the truth, not with our mind, but with our hearts.
Do you think he was crazy when he did it?
No, he wasn't crazy.
When I saw the blood, I got so scared because I thought that was you.
Drop the case. I quit now, and all this for nothing. No.
You waged all our lives on this.
Do you think the jury should convict Carl Lee Haley?
Objection! Turn him loose! Do you think they deserve to die, Mr. Haley? Answer the question.
Carl,
Did
don't
they
answer
deserve
that
to
question.
die?
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
This movie's really good.
This movie's amazing.
Yeah, it's the only reason it's not higher on my list, honestly, is because it looks like it's Joel Schumacher, and this movie doesn't look as good as The Verdict, which was made 15 years earlier. He shoots the whole thing like with a steady cam, and too much of it's kind of shaky, and I don't think he knows where he wants the camera to be half the time. So like the way that it's filmed, I don't like, but the plot and the acting, and not to take anything away from Schumacher, because the fact that the acting is so good is also, that also gives some credit to him. But it really is like, I was watching this movie.
What's Time to Kill about, James?
Hold on. I was watching this movie and was like, man, I feel like this looks like it was made for TV. But Time to Kill is, it stars Matthew McConaughey and
All
Samuel
right.
L. Jackson.
Motherfucker.
And basically two super redneck hillbillies who like to drive through black parts of town and throw full cans of beer at people. Find this young woman and rape and almost kill her in the woods, and that young woman is Samuel L. Jackson's young daughter.
Because they have time to kill?
Because they have that's not it.
You did not just make a rape joke.
Whoa.
Wow.
She's 10 years old.
I stand by it.
Oh.
It was out there, and I took it. Like rape.
At home, if you could see, oh my gosh. At home, if you could all see just how smug and proud of himself he is, leaning
I'm
back,
enjoying this Triscuit.
leaning back in his chair, eating his Triscuit.
I'm leaning back
so
so
bad.
squish the dog.
Anyway, well, at least someone knows you have a heart. They're taking these guys' shit. These guys are going into the court to face trial because they it's really it's really easy to prove that these guys did it. And they even confessed to doing it. And Samuel L. Jackson bursts into the courthouse with an assault rifle and kills these two dudes, and then runs away. And Matthew McConaughey then spends the next 2 hours trying to figure out how to defend Samuel L. Jackson and
I
not
wonder why
make him.
James likes this movie.
It's because it's really good.
And it's 2 hours of Matthew McConaughey.
It's 2 hours of Matthew McConaughey being like, "Oh man, I really don't want to have sex with Sandra Bullock."
And also Kiefer and Donald Sutherland, but
Yes.
never on screen together.
Yes, and playing.
Does he do most of his defense shirtless?
What? Son of a bitch.
While in mud.
So Donald Sutherland. The mud's never even in the mud.
Judge is like banging his gavel, like, I find you in contempt being too hot.
I sent you to a vacation in the Sahara.
Have some respect. This movie's fantastic. Donald Sutherland plays basically like his old boss. Like he's a lawyer who was really, really good and taught Matthew McConaughey's character everything he knows. Kiefer Sutherland, on the other hand, is the brother of one of the two guys who gets gunned down.
Wait, Kiefer and Donald are in both the
Yes,
movie?
but one of them plays a crazy, awesome good guy, and the other one plays a super racist Ku Klux Klan leader. Kiefer is the Ku Klux Klan leader.
I thought they weren't in a movie until Forsaken.
They're never on screen together.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. So they're not even in a scene together. Well, actually, technically, at the end, they're both in the courthouse at the same time, but not in the same shot.
But it's not like they were hanging out with each other and going like, "Son, what did you do today?"
Right,
Like, what do you
yeah.
think I'm doing, Dad? We're right here.
Oh no, we both have really cool voices.
So Kiefer plays the brother of one of the two guys who then stirs up a new membership of the KKK in this town in Mississippi, and starts harassing McConaughey and his family. Sandra Bullock plays a young legal assistant who really wants to help because she thinks this is a good thing.
But she can't make it to the courthouse because she's on a bus.
No, and the bus can't stop.
And then she spends all of her time on the net.
Son of a bitch. Y'all are the worst.
Do they have seesaws in the bathroom at the courthouse?
I hate you
Is
so
she able
much.
to understand the heat?
I all of you are the worst people. Anyway,
Does he have 24 hours to solve the crime?
I'm literally going to beat you to death with a microphone. And
This is how it is when
yes,
on a
you will
weekly
deserve
episode.
to die, and I hope you burn in hell.
Yay!
So it's a really fantastic film. Samuel L. Jackson is amazing throughout the movie. Especially, there's a scene with him and McConaughey in a jail cell where he's he finally like is explaining to him like, I wanted you to be my lawyer because you are the bad guy, and he has to get through his head like what the real problem is and why race is so important in this case.
And it only left McConaughey dazed and confused.
No, you son of a bitch.
You how many more can I do?
I'm just gonna edit out all of. No, I'm not.
Okay, that's your problem.
I ain't got that time. It's a really great film. McConaughey's speech at the end is wonderful. I wish that it were shot better, but definitely.
That's weird because I think Joel Schumacher's usually a pretty good director.
It's funny because I used to be like a sort of an apologist for Schumacher because I like his Phantom of the Opera, even though a lot of people don't. And even though I myself have problems with the way that movie is shot, but this one really, like, I would have rather had Brett Ratner make this movie.
He is a chameleon. He shoots a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, this one just, there's stuff where like he just keeps moving the camera and like, and
I like interviews.
I don't know who he's supposed to look, who like it's like he doesn't know who's going to be talking next, you know. And then sometimes it's just it looks really low rent. I mean, genuinely, The Verdict looks beautiful by comparison, and it's from '82. So, anyway, you should totally check out A Time to Kill. It's on Amazon, so you can rent it there. Definitely worth seeing. So,
did they tell you how he loses the case in 10 days?
Yeah, he had a failure to launch.
Makes sense.
I hate you. I hate you.
And I'm pretty sure he was paid at Yuli's Gold. Oh, Fool's Gold.
I was just about to make a Fool's Gold joke. You beat me.
Is that it for McConaughey?
Does he talk about his Ghosts of Girlfriends Past in that movie?
No.
I mean, of course, the Ghost of the Girlfriend's Past started with a Texas Chainsaw.
Then don't forget he had to go to Dallas for a buyer's club of some kind.
He sure did.
Interstellar.
Something about... I was just going to make that something about a Lincoln lawyer. Yeah. Anyway, Zach, what's I don't give a fuck.
My number 5 is A Time to Kill.
You don't give me any shit, or
so
you don't give me
any
shit.
all that all over again. All right.
Yeah, please.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
No, nothing to really. He elaborated perfectly on why the.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Now he elaborated fine on what the movie is, but I am also a big fan of Samuel L. Jackson's performance in that film.
So
particularly, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Yes, they deserve to die.
That's one of the Hollywood Reporter's top 100 quotes of movies ever.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, and Kevin Spacey. Totally forgot about the fact that Kevin Spacey's in there.
Plays
everyone's in this movie.
The lawyer who's going up against Matthew McConaughey, and he's just a sleazeball in the movie. It's awesome.
Also, the woman who plays the homeless lady from Home Alone 2 is in this movie. Everyone's in this movie.
I don't remember Home Alone 2 at all.
Oh, there's a homeless woman in it. She's in this movie.
I know he's lost in New York.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So anyway, my number 5 is A View to Kill.
A Time to Kill.
A Time to
Kill. Not A View to a Kill.
A View to a Kill. Going back to 1985, guys.
Yeah. Cool.
My number 5 was Independence Day.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Like, I liked it a lot more back in '96.
Right.
It is a little silly. Some parts are silly nowadays, but the end is speech is great, and I just remember we saw it on my birthday, and our little sci-fi group was so psyched to see it, and we're blown away.
Remember when that dog jumps out of the fire? So
because fire can't it only stays in the main tunnel. It can't go through doors and follow. Yeah.
No, that's not how explosions work.
So can Cold in The Day After Tomorrow. Yeah. Just saying Roland Emmerich has a history of this.
At least his physics are consistent.
We're not arguing that the entire canon of Roland Emmerich is good.
The Patriot's awesome.
There's 3 good Roland Emmerich
I have
movies.
long feared that my sins would come back to haunt me.
Cool. Independence Day.
Oh, man, finally a new one. This is one of my favorite films from this director who sadly passed away just very recently. He reinvented the horror genre in 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, and he did it again with a wink at the audience in 1996's Scream.
Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
Tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
It all began with a scream over 911.
Someone who's seen one too many scary movies. Now he's taken his love of fear
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
one step too far.
Do you like scary movies?
What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number one, you can never have sex. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back. Get another beer, you want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
He didn't make the rules.
The police are always on track. If they watch prom night, they save time.
He just kills by them. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't try to hide.
Everybody's a suspect!
You're not scared, are you?
Scream.
Wes Craven took a Kevin Williamson script originally titled Scary Movie and said that's a stupid name for a movie, and they changed it to Scream, and he didn't like that either, but he liked it more than Scary Movie. But anyways, it's a story, and this is another movie that is it's transcended popular culture because the opening 20 minutes of this movie is some of the best in horror. It opens with Drew Barrymore, who is promoted as the star of the film. And she answers the phone, and it says, "What's your favorite scary movie?" You know, that whole thing. And he gets her on a thing that a lot of people miss in horror trivia. Who's the killer in Friday the 13th? Everyone says Jason. Nope. Jason's mom kills in Friday the 13th. And after she gives the wrong answer, he guts her boyfriend. And if you see the unrated version, his guts like pour out. And then he kills Casey Becker, Drew Barrymore, in the first 20 minutes. And what's really cool about that is they wanted Drew Barrymore to play, I think, the Rose McGowan character. And she read the script and said, "I'll do it, but I want to be the person who dies at the beginning." And they said, whoa, you're the star. She said, "Yeah, I know, but that's a way better scene." And the way the movie played out is kind of self-aware of horror films. Wes Craven plays Fred the janitor in it, dressed up like Freddy Krueger. The movie's really clever, really well done, and I think the series as a whole is actually pretty strong. I really enjoy this film, and it's brought back the slasher movie, so hats off to Wes Craven. And he's a dude who understands how to make horror films. Very, very, very good director.
Yeah, I remember watching it in high school, but I don't. I mean, it doesn't work for me. Like, because it's not just because. Yeah.
I mean, the ending is different. You don't expect. Hey guys, spoilers for a movie that's 20 years old. Okay, that there's two killers. Dewey is really funny in it. Played by David Arquette. It kind of made him. I don't know if he's a star, but made him known.
Henry Winkler plays the principal.
Yeah. And I really love Courtney Cox's character in this. She's the bitchy reporter, Gail Weathers. I just like the movie a lot. I think it's really well done.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say that as if it wasn't good. What I really mean is like I was disappointed because I had heard such great things about it, and then when I finally saw it, I was like, oh man, like this still doesn't work for because it's not a horror. Like something just doesn't click for me. Even though I can appreciate how smart all the things it's doing are.
Yeah.
You know.
And unfortunately, also gave us Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Don't say you'll be right back, because you won't be back. I'm getting a beer. I'll be right back. And he dies.
She didn't show her tits
or
until
does
she
he?
went legits.
Yeah. So, yeah, Scream.
Cool.
It's a good one.
What are we at, 5?
5.
Okay, cool. I can do a 5. My number 5 is The Rock.
Following is a state secret, gentlemen. Disclose it to any party and you will be subject to prosecution. His name is John Mason, British national, incarcerated on Alcatraz in 1962. Escaped in 63. His new identity in the United States or Great Britain. He does not exist.
Secrets have a way of coming back to haunt you.
There's a hostage situation on Alcatraz. Hostage? 81 tourists. The Rock's a tourist attraction.
The one you train to defend you becomes your greatest threat.
A battery of VX gas rockets is presently deployed to deliver a highly lethal strike on the population of the San Francisco Bay Area.
And the one you abandon becomes your only hope.
You go talk to him.
Me?
Yeah.
Hiya. I'm an agent with the FBI. I'm Stanley Goodspeed.
But of course you are.
At least he got his name right.
Now, all that stands between a city and a disaster.
The power of this chemical is way beyond anything you can imagine.
That's why you're coming with us.
Is a man who's never seen combat.
You're a chemical freak. I'm a chemical super freak, actually.
And another who's been out of action for 30 years.
Show us on the blueprints.
I can't. My blueprint was in my head.
Fortunately, some things you never forget.
But don't worry. It'll all come back to me.
From Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer, the producers of Top Gun and Crimson Tide, and Michael Bay, the director of Bad Boys.
Welcome to the Rock. We got visitors.
Sean Connery.
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Your best? Losers always whine about their best.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Listen, I'm just a biochemist. I drive a Volvo. Beige one. So what do you say you cut me some friggin' slack?
Ed Harris.
Fire.
This summer, get ready to rock.
Double Sean Connery on your list.
This movie's so cool. Like, genuinely an awesome action movie. Yeah, Sean Connery is amazing.
I forget who directs this.
Nicolas Cage is amazing. Michael Bay is amazing.
He's a good action director.
Yeah, I was watching this. I was at the gym a couple weeks ago when this was on, and I was watching. Like, I didn't even have the sound on. I was just watching the way the shots, like he stages all the shots in the fight as they're fighting through to get to the VX gas at the end, and they're like, you know, he's dropping to the ground and like shooting the dude in the foot to make him drop and then shooting him, or like Sean Connery like shoots the ceiling and knock down the AC unit to crush the dude's head. Like, it was just a really creative action scene, that even without the sound on, I was like, oh man, like, oh, that's so cool. It was really exciting without even being engrossed in the film. And I think a really fun, pretty playful idea for a movie. Of like, oh, we gotta sneak back in, and there's this whole like conspiracy of Sean Connery, you know, being this guy that nobody wants to talk about. And it's got like that weird ending where they go to the church and get the microfilm that almost makes you feel like
microfilm was a thing,
right? Almost makes you feel like there should have been a sequel to this movie. And I would totally see one. Plus, like, Ed Harris is kind of awesome in that movie. Like, a super badass with like this pretty off the wall, insane motivation as a bad guy. So yeah, I love The Rock. It's a cool movie. So anyway, Zach, you're number 4.
My number 4 was Scream.
Oh, okay, cool.
I love Scream. I love Wes Craven. If you read my article on when he passed away,
yeah,
I put this as one of the top films that he ever made, and there's something about the film that definitely still works to this day, despite us all knowing how everything proceeds.
Right.
Like, it itself has become a cliche of its own kind.
Right.
But regardless, the scares still work. The suspense is still taut. The performances are very good for a horror movie, obviously, given that they've got a great director behind them. And I love Matthew Lillard in the movie, actually. He's one of those weird links in the movie that I actually enjoy. Like, I love his kind of goofy, off-the-wall performance, and then when you discover the twist at the end with his character, it just makes his performance even more outlandish and bizarre.
But wait, there's more!
So yeah, I love Scream, and also I'm a big fan of Henry Winkler popping up in random things, and he plays the principal in this one. And he gives this really impassioned speech like, "You people make me sick." So I love it. Scream, my number 4.
Nice. It's a good movie.
Cool.
Brad?
Would you believe that there was a Wes Anderson movie out this year?
There is.
And why wouldn't it be on my list? My number 4 is Bottle Rocket.
Preparation was good, you know. I think that's your specialty.
Thank you. Because if I said that one, it would sound like bragging. Obviously good quickness.
Yeah, in and out pretty fast.
Real fast. Including the coin collection and the earrings.
You took the earrings, Dignan?
I bought the earrings for my mother on her birthday. Maybe we should have robbed your house. You ever think of that?
3 outstanding young men.
Well, come on, baby, and rock with me tonight.
Bob Mapplethorpe, potential getaway driver. Go.
I really want to be a part of this team. And I'm the only one with a car.
That's good. That's good. Because that hits me right here.
I'm Anthony. You speak English? It's amazing how close you can get to a girl when you're not allowed to talk to her.
And my name's Dignan, man.
You in the army, yes?
No, I just have short hair.
We are a team. Dignan,
I can't focus unless the gun is on the table.
We just paid for it.
Shut up, man. We don't settle our problems with pugs, man. We settle them with bare knuckles.
All they ever wanted was to be wanted.
What are you putting that tape on your nose for?
Exactly.
Let's get lucky. Just do exactly as I say.
Let's move, come on!
Get one of those bags.
A bigger one, you idiot! What do you think? Don't call me an idiot, you punk.
Do you have bigger bags for atlases or dictionaries, sir?
I'll tell you something, kid. You got the guts of a damn lion.
That is Mr. Henry.
Hey, Henry, how are you?
He is a very talented thief.
Just get in.
I don't know. Are you in?
I really don't want to do this robbery, you know.
Man, neither do I.
You're breaking his heart. You know that, don't you? Huh?
What were you thinking? They're gonna keep on trying.
Got it, ma'am. We know it backwards and we know it forwards because we've done the legwork and we've done the research.
Until they get it right.
What are you doing here? You're always at lunch now.
Not always.
Yes, always.
Bob? Go!
On the run from Johnny Law.
Did he give you the keys? Did he give you the keys?
Pole vaulting, laughing gas, choppers. Can you see how incredible this is going to be?
Excuse me. Are the explosives really necessary?
What? Color me shocked.
So close to being on that list.
It should be on the list, Zach. It should be on the list. I don't actually remember when I first saw it. It might have been like a Midnight at the Esquire thing, but like I think it's his first feature, but it's based off of a smaller short that he made.
Owen Wilson's great in this movie.
Yeah, Owen Wilson, his brother Luke Wilson, they're together. They play with their another guy. His name escapes me. They're trying to be robbers, but they're terrible at it.
Yep.
But they still act like they're really good at it, or at least Owen Wilson does. So they steal from a library, right?
Yep.
Which I don't know why they think there's going to be a ton of money there. And then they go hide out at a motel for a few days. And then when that blows over, they... Scott Conn?
James Conn.
James Conn. They get in cahoots with James Conn to like do another large heist or something, and that goes awry in the quirky Wes Anderson-y way. But it's just kind of a fun little story about these two brothers who
it's called Two Brothers
trying to be criminals, but they're just terrible.
They're kind of idiots.
They're idiots about it, and the Luke Wilson brother he's kind of just along for the ride. Like he's not really passionate about it, but it's like it's Owen Wilson's thing. So it's just got great Wes Anderson humor, and
cool,
it's a good fun movie.
I haven't seen it in so long, so I put it on my list because I couldn't remember it enough.
Yeah, every time I watch it, like I'll forget about it. It's like, oh, it's a good movie, and then I'll watch it and be like, oh, this is a great movie. So
it's funny because I saw it and Rushmore around the same time, and I don't remember Bottle Rocket real well, but I remember not liking Rushmore, so I think I've tainted Bottle Rocket with my memory of Rushmore. So maybe I should see it again. All right.
Yeah.
Number 4, right?
Yep.
Yes.
My number 4 is Mission Impossible. Because I chose to accept that mission.
They may start going pretty fast here.
Yeah. I get to the point where we all start liking the same movies. Yeah, no, Mission Impossible, we've already said it. I'm a huge Tom Cruise fan. This movie proves he's the best runner in Hollywood. he outran an aquarium exploding.
I don't know. I feel like it's Mission Impossible 3 where I really was like, no one has ever run as good as like Tom. Like,
oh yeah.
In Mission Impossible 1, you're like, hey, he's really good at running. Mm-hmm. Mission Impossible 3, you're like, holy shit,
because he does outrun a rocket.
Yeah. Well, and like, no, it's when he wants to get to his wife at the end.
That's right.
And you're like,
he's running through all the houses.
He wants to get there. I believe he wants to be somewhere that he's not yet.
I think Tom Cruise is perfect for these roles because you have to have the right amount of intensity and physicality for it. And he's perfect for the role of Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
And
he's still a badass when he's just sitting in a train with Jean Reno and Ving Rhames and they're like talking. You know?
Yep. You need a star like Tom Cruise to. I mean, those are the only reason I think those movies work so well too.
Totally.
Does anyone ever explain why Emilio Estevez is uncredited?
I don't know.
No, I don't. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And his death is like scarring to me.
Yeah, it's
like when I was a kid, I was just like, oh, like I didn't want to look at the screen when that happened.
Don't stand on top of elevators, kids.
Yeah.
You never know where they're going to stop.
Because there might be giant
On
spikes
your
that go in your face. Man. And he shows just enough that you think you saw something.
Like it just touches his forehead as he's looking up, and then it cuts.
Yeah, it's really
mighty duck himself.
nasty. Man.
Oh, don't say any so, Coach.
Oh yeah, is D3 on any of our lists? Yeah.
Yeah, no,
maybe
possible.
Yeah,
great stuff.
Very cool. Cool.
Dave's number 4. D3. The Mighty Ducks.
No, my number 4 is Star Trek: First Contact.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a great movie. It's no longer, for a long time it was my favorite Star Trek movie. It's certainly my favorite action-y Star Trek movie. But as I matured, my taste in Star Trek movies matured with me, which is why 6 is my favorite now.
So, nice. That's fine.
Mine's 2, but you know.
2's awesome.
I'm a populist.
What everyone says.
2's great too. Yeah. But 2 doesn't have like a badass mystery.
And Shakespearean dialogue. And
yeah. Man. Where'd these boots come from?
It has this really sweet revenge plot, though.
It's got Captain Kirk's bedroom.
Yeah.
It's a cool scene. Anyway, Zach, number 3.
My number 3 is a documentary about a case that went on for 18 years and was finally solved through a very interesting, rarely used plea. My number 3 is Paradise Lost.
In a statement given to the police and obtained by a Memphis newspaper, 17-year-old Jesse Miskelly allegedly confesses to watching 2 other suspects choke, rape, and sexually mutilate 3 West Memphis second graders.
The murders had been part of a satanic ritual.
Satanic
A
worship.
horrific, ritualistic sacrifice.
We were just sitting on the couch watching TV the night we were arrested.
They had to find somebody to pin this on. This publicity was getting out of hand.
We, the jury, find Jesse Lloyd Miskelly, Jr. guilty of second-degree murder, Jason Baldwin guilty of capital murder, Damian Eccles guilty of capital murder.
This doesn't change anything.
Our son was still
Christopher's
murdered.
dead.
Our son
And he
was
was
still
tortured to death by 3 murdering bastards on a ditch bank. He was 8 years old.
The damn system stinks.
It's a great tragedy that kids was killed, but it's also another great tragedy that American citizens, anybody, today's public, can just be picked up for a crime they didn't commit.
Everybody in the town and in the courtroom and on the jury are all blinded by their fantasies about satanic cults.
The criminal confessions are too many manipulated by the police.
I'm going to be wondering if the true killers were actually captured.
Jesse Miskelly Jr., Jason Baldwin, Damian Eccles. I promise you, as God is my witness, I'll visit all 3 of your graves.
Paradise Lost, for those who don't know.
I didn't realize that was this year. I didn't see it on my list as I was going through
it. Is that a book?
It was this year. No, not the one by Milton. Paradise Lost is the story of the West Memphis 3 case, and how the justice system basically railroaded these three teenagers into a situation involving what they supposed was a satanic crime out in the middle of West Memphis, Arkansas. What's interesting about this particular film as opposed to the other two is that this is the only time in the case where everything is pretty much just presented and there's no sides being taken. It's a very even-handed, both sides are presented perfectly fine. It's impartial. It's really up to you to decide what you believe about the case. It's beautifully composed by Joe Berlinger and the late Bruce Sinofsky, who passed away recently. If you've never seen a documentary in your life about, like, I know there's consternation about Making a Murderer is an amazing show or something like that, but like, is this in the same vein, or am I going off?
It's in the same vein, but Making a Murderer is not anywhere near as good as the Memphis case.
Okay, because the Paradise Lost, the way it's composed and the way it's presented as if though life is unfolding. It's not. They're not trying to construct a narrative. They're just presenting as it unfolds,
right,
like literally as a procedural. But they also mix it in with Metallica music, which was the music that these kids were into at the time that they were arrested. It's powerful stuff, and
it is because
go ahead.
The first one is 96. When was the second one? 2003.
The second one was in 2000, and then the third one was 2012.
Yeah, so I mean, you see this case unfold through these documentaries that are very well done. I think you can still watch them on HBO Go.
Yep.
So I definitely think you should see them. I mean, it's not on my list, but it's very fascinating.
Yeah. And also, it's a great tribute to the power that film has to change a situation. Because of that film, the case became a source of controversy, and as a result, a lot of people who got involved, whether it was Peter Jackson, Eddie Vedder, Johnny Depp, got involved in this case as a result of watching that film, and kept that fight going for 18 years to get them released, which they got released on an Alford plea, which is a very rarely used legal terminology. I don't know if it's specific to that state, but anywho, so now they're out and free, but to watch where they were and where they go in the other two films is highly fascinating. I highly recommend you watch Paradise Lost.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Power of film.
Good choice. 3?
Brad?
Yeah, 3.
How do I introduce my number 3?
You say the title.
Okay, let's see if that works. My number 3 is a movie I watched I was on a certain actor kick, and so I was like looking for this person in their role, and then what I ended up watching was like this gorgeous epic that I never imagined could exist. And my number 3 is Kenneth Branagh's William Shakespeare's Hamlet.
To be or not to be.
Castle Rock Entertainment proudly presents Hamlet, the most celebrated drama in the English language, seen in glorious 70mm format, adapted for the screen and directed by Kenneth Branagh, with a distinguished international cast featuring Derek Jacobi, Julie Christie, Kate Winslet, Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, Gerard Depardieu, Charlton Heston, Jack Lemmon, Richard Attenborough, John Gielgud, and Kenneth Branagh as Hamlet.
I really hate this isn't on my list. It's a great.
Oh, you didn't put it on your list? I thought I swept you.
No.
You seem so dejected.
Don't worry, I'll sweep him.
He's lining up the sights.
Yep.
But I might sweep you, so
that's fine.
Targeting.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I was on a Robin Williams trying to watch his movies and stuff, and I was like, oh, he's in this one, cool, and he's in the last 5 minutes or something. So for a 4-hour movie, so I had to wade through all that, and what I waded through was this amazing. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's I like Shakespeare, but it's not my go-to, and I'll watch the first 3 minutes of a Shakespeare movie, or maybe 10, 20 minutes, and be a little bit lost, but then suddenly your brain kicks in, and you suddenly magically start understanding what the dialogue is telling you.
You have to put yourself in that mind frame. I do the same thing when I read books. If you read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the first 20 pages are oh my god, but then you just start clicking, and everything starts clicking. And Kenneth Branagh, for some reason, has this amazing ability to make Shakespeare.
Yeah, you can translate that stuff so well.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I have that stuff in a different section of my brain. So even when I saw it on the list, I just went over it because I was like, well, yeah, but that's it's over here. It's not, as I was putting together my list, I'm thinking about movies, and then it's also my favorite adaptation of my favorite Shakespeare play, and I think it's an absolute masterpiece of filmmaking.
Yeah, it's not in his top 10. What?
Yeah, no, it's just the way my brain because it's nobody wrote it in 1996. It's just his adaptation, but his performance of it is amazing.
And also that all that dialogue is helped by having amazing actors, and it seems like everyone in Hollywood at the time is in this movie.
Well, and Derek Jacobi is amazing, man.
Yeah, Jack Lemmon is in it.
Yeah, but Jack Lemmon is in the worst part of the movie, to be honest. His role is it's really bad.
Is there a worst part of the movie? I don't know.
Yes.
All seems really good.
That's it, though.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole is in the movie.
Yeah, man.
There's new and old actors combined. It's great stuff.
Yep. Yeah, that's an awesome movie, man. I want to watch it.
Gorgeous production design.
Yeah, and it's a great Blu-ray. If you don't already have it, that Blu-ray set is
Blu-ray set. Yep.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. Kate Winslet. Oh man.
Oh yeah, she's in the movie. Who else?
Ophelia.
It's such a long list. I can't.
Yeah, it's 4 hours long.
Yep, it's the whole thing. It's not that Mel Gibson truncated.
No, this ain't no sword wheeling. Abridged version. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's a great one. Man.
Hamlet, number 3.
Cool.
My number 3 is probably going to be on everybody's list higher. It's by two brothers who do make...
It's called Two Brothers.
Great movies. And
son of a bitch.
This might be the movie that elevates them to elite status in Hollywood. This movie was criminally robbed of a Best Picture, some would say. This movie is Fargo.
I'm Jerry Lindegaard.
Got the car?
You bet. Brand new burnt umber Sierra.
You want your own wife kidnapped.
Her dad, he's real well off.
So why don't you just ask him for the money?
See, these are personal matters.
Personal matters?
Wait, it's Jerry. I don't know what to do. It's my wife. We gotta talk. It's something, oh, geez. It's terrible.
Oh, I got the state looking for a Sierra with a tank starting DLR.
I'm not sure that I agree with you 100% on your police work there, Lou. I think that vehicle there probably had dealer plates.
Jeez.
DLR?
No, they said no cops.
Here's the second one. So we got a trooper pull someone over.
This a new car then, sir?
Oh, it certainly is, officer. Still got that smell.
There's a high-speed pursuit. We got a shooting, and then this execution type deal.
$1 million, a lot of damn money. They got my daughter.
Why's it, hon?
Brought you some lunch, Margie. What are those, night crawlers?
Oh, yeah, looks pretty good.
How's Jean? Who's Jean? My wife.
Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking.
You were having sex with a little fella then?
Yeah.
Mr. Lundegaard, you mind if I sit down? Carrying quite a load here.
Where's Jerry? Got your damn money. Now, where's my daughter?
blood has been shed. We now want the entire 80,000.
I answered the darn... I'm cooperating here.
You have no call to get snippy with me. I'm just doing my job here.
What do you fellas got yourself mixed up in?
Police!
So, is there anything else you can tell me about him?
He wasn't circumcised.
Oh, yeah?
Fargo is a great film because this is the first film that I noticed directors staging shots, if that makes any sense. And the first one that I noticed was when Frances McDermott's in her house, and the camera never moves, and she's in the corner, and then she goes outside, and she's still in frame, at the beginning. And that's when I first noticed their style. Of course, the Coen brothers. It's a murder mystery that's also kind of quirky and funny. And that's the Coen brothers, and it's just a really well made film. Everyone's always going to say The Wood Chipper, but to me, that's whatever.
That's
so little of what the film is.
As a significant part of a grander scale.
Exactly. I mean, Frances McDermott in that movie is amazing.
It's often true that Coen Brothers movies get remembered by the populace for the most minuscule and unimportant
But
scenes.
see, to me, like I said, my thing I remember is that shot of inside her kitchen.
Right.
I don't know why, but that's when I noticed, directors having a certain visual style. Wes Anderson does it with how he composes shots too, but this one was the one I noticed. And even the dialogue, even when you put it in silly North Dakotan accents or whatever you want to call it, it's still Coen Brothers through and through. I think they have a certain cadence to how their lines are delivered and how they're written. They follow certain beats. The movie's just really well done.
It's like a Greek tragedy in the Midwest.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yep.
Has anyone found that money yet?
There's that Japanese woman who crossed the country to come find it. I think she found it.
Yeah. I mean, it says it's a true story at the beginning. So.
Yeah. Shit, what was that movie called, Zach? Oh man, that's the thing. There was a foreign film from Japan. Yeah.
I can't remember me all night now.
But yeah, I'll end it there because I'm sure someone else is going to talk about Fargo as well.
It's going to happen.
Fargo.
Cool. My number 3 was Mission Impossible.
Nice.
Mission Impossible is really good. So Zach, what's your number 2?
My number 2 was From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh wow.
I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I think that's been made very clear by our discussions. And I'm actually a Robert Rodriguez apologist for better or worse.
I think around then he made fun movies.
Yeah, at that time there was no
there's no apology.
El Mariachi and Desperado are amazing movies.
Yeah. What I love about this film is basically just the not necessarily the twist and the turn at it, because for me it's whatever. It's actually the first 20 minutes. Opening sequence is some of the best tension I ever seen laid out on screen.
Yeah.
The twist as it's revealed is really cool. I actually don't mind it. I'm like, I know it.
I think it's awesome.
Some people don't like it, and I don't understand why. But that's just their problem, not mine.
I think you have to. I applaud because it's a different kind of film.
Yeah.
I mean, you think you're going in for one thing, except the marketing sold it wrong. But if I was marketing, I would have sold it as the heist getaway movie.
Yeah.
Because then the vampires would have been crazy. I mean, it's already a batshit crazy movie.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I am one of those people where the twist. I appreciate that movie and I really enjoy that movie, but the twist is actually diminished for me because I love the first half so much that when it turns into a vampire movie, I'm like, wait, but I want to go back to the Gecko brothers having their problems and this family in Winnebago. I love that sequence so much that when it goes away, I'm like, oh man, I wanted to see how you were going to solve that in a real world, and then there are just vampires everywhere, and I love that. But it does it takes away from the twist because I feel like I lost something.
Right,
if that makes
and
sense.
like any good horror movie, that whole first half is a good setup to get you to like these
True.
characters, so that when they start getting knocked off one by one in their own special way, and do the Asian kid the way he gets it is just so badass.
Yeah.
Also, Fred the Hammer Williamson in there for some reason.
I think it's because Tarantino likes him.
Yeah. And there is no reason at all to not love Fred the Hammer Williamson.
No.
So just a fun movie, cool kicks and whatnot. I like Michael Parks in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and I love the line, "Everybody be cool. You be cool."
Yeah. Clooney's great in the film.
Yeah. Totally dig George Clooney, my dad's man crush, you know.
Nice. Not a bad one.
Yeah.
Cool. Brad?
My number 2, we've already talked about it. It's Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Wow.
We quoted the shit out of that in high school, and I will continue to do so. Because that's a great, fun movie.
Man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. My number 2 is one we haven't talked about. I'm waiting for this man to direct another movie. I want him to write more movies.
Yep.
And every time I see Playtone come up on the screen, I know I'm in for a treat. My number 2 movie is That Thing You Do.
Mine too.
Guy Patterson didn't have a perfect job or a perfect social life.
What's going on down there?
Cooking the books as usual, Dad. But what he did have was perfect timing.
How about sitting in for Chad just for tonight? Why? Just broke his arm.
And in one night,
That's too fast, Guy. Slow down! Guy, slow down!
Guy Patterson is going to take the wonders from garage
I almost slugged some girl. She had her eye on my Jimmy.
to greatness.
There's somebody I want you to meet.
Mr. White is with Playtone Records.
That thing you do, is snappy. We'd like to release it.
We'd be on tour?
Well, Mama, son who loves you just left us in the lurch. Darlene, you just got promoted.
You mean you're gonna start paying me?
I didn't say that.
America's Own Wonders! Put that down. That is a very expensive floor display.
We bow, and we're off the stage before the applause dies out. It's very important you don't stink today. Hey, I make no guarantees. You guys look great in red. Have I told you that yet? Come on, pretty baby. You got the number 7 record in the country.
He's got a very pretty girlfriend, doesn't he?
Is it serious, you know?
Very serious. I'm single.
What about the bass player?
You fellas look great in gold. Have I told you that? What about Guy there?
Oh, he's amazing.
Amazing.
20th Century Fox presents
This is Mr. White. Are you sleeping? Just calling to tell you to get your patootie down to the television studio. You're going to be on TV tonight.
a story about the time in every life when the hopes you hold on to.
Pretty special, isn't she?
And the dreams you dream
None of this would have happened if you hadn't joined the band.
become that thing you do. That Thing You Do. Written and directed by Tom Hanks.
Look fabulous in the black suits. Have I told you that? Hi. Fabulous in the black suits.
Doing that thing.
This movie is so brilliant. It's a story about these kids who are in a band called the Wonders or the Oneaters, and their rise really fast to the number 2, and then on the Billboard charts with That Thing You Do single, and then how they crash and burn. But what's more fun is the awesome relationships that are throughout the film.
Yeah.
In fact, if you get the Blu-ray, I'd recommend it because it's the Tom Hanks approved director's cut, and it gives his character more to do, and you understand him more. Because if you see the theatrical version, which is a great version, but he's a little more callous, and in the director's cut, you understand him more, and he has more heart. And I mean, it turns out that he's gay. He cares about these kids.
And I think one of the things I love about this movie, so I'll say this. I've had a really hard time putting this list together because it was this or my number 1. And there were serious days where this was my number 1 because this movie is very important to me.
Yeah.
And the lessons that he teaches those kids, especially in some of those final scenes. Like the look on his face. And maybe I was a dumb, 15-year-old or however old. Well, let's see. I would have been 9. Maybe I was a dumb 9 or 10-year-old at the time. But when he gives you the line at the end, when when Spartacus is like so disappointed. He's like, wait, but I was in a band once and we still have a #1 hit. And he looks at him and goes, yep, one-hit wonders. It's a very well told tale. And I never put it together. Yep. And like that scene to me is so important and is such a well crafted, like it makes that movie so brilliantly put together. And it sticks with me really well.
It does.
That even though all of this stuff is made up, the story they're telling you, right down to the post credits or the beginning of the credits thing where they tell you about what happened to these characters afterwards, like you feel like you really learned something, and you're like, oh man, like this is how life is for people, and this is what's really important, and this is what isn't, and this is what the kind of things that are going to happen in your life. It has genuinely defined the way that I look at certain events in my life and the way that I move past them, because I adore this movie.
I do too, and it's a movie that I remember seeing in the theaters, and my friends never understood why I loved this movie.
Because your friends were stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you get past even the drama, it is a peppy like soundtrack.
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack to this film. I was reading it just the other day, actually, when we talked about doing 96, and Tom Hanks actually wrote the song "Lovin' You Lots and Lots."
Yeah.
And to me, he's just such a brilliant man, and I want to see him do more directing and tell stories he wants to tell, because he's in a part in his life where he can do whatever he wants. I mean, it's Tom Hanks, you know. And this movie, James touched on it. You know, it's just there's parts that just make me laugh and just touch me in a way that most movies can't.
Right.
We always talk about the scene where they're at the beginning and he's like, "Where was I? Oh yeah, I was up there playing
songs on my guitar.
I was playing songs on my guitar." It's just fun.
That movie, like, I mean, obviously I hadn't seen Steve Zahn in anything before that, and for me, like, anytime I see him, he's instantly funny, and I will always love him because of that movie. Because he's just so damn likable, and his comedic timing is perfect in that movie.
Yep.
I
love the film, and when it came out on Blu-ray, I was so happy.
Yeah.
Because I could finally upgrade it to the palette it deserved.
Yeah.
Because it's really colorful. It's really well made.
Yeah.
And even the scene with Tom Hanks when he's talking to Liv Tyler. Oh my gosh! At the end, is. Maybe not even at the end. It's maybe pretty like 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah,
where he's basically telling her that you're just a girl. You know, your boyfriend is whatever.
Right. Yeah.
He's a lead singer of a band. He doesn't have time for you anymore. Oh.
So good.
Of course, it's way better because Tom Hanks is saying it, and he's a better actor and a better speaker than I am.
Yeah.
You see how I turned my head like falling in love with Tom Hanks there?
Just like, I want to caress his hair.
Yeah. And yeah.
That's a fantastic movie.
And I remember one of the first times you hung out with me, I had my iPod playing, and you're really impressed. I had that thing you do playing on my iPod. Instant Connections.
Man.
Over amazing film.
I want to go home and watch that thing you do.
I'm loving you lots and lots.
So good.
Yep.
And then we cut another record, because the whole point of this is to make more records. Cool. Well, yeah, that was my number 2 too.
So Zach.
Number 1, man.
I
my
feel
number
bad.
1 was Fargo, eh?
Well, we can.
When I switch the legs of these assholes, I don't care.
As I say, we can skip to the end here, and I can say that my number 1 is also Fargo.
My fee? Wade, what the heck are you talking about?
Stan and I are okay.
Yeah?
We're good to load in.
Yeah?
But we never talked about your fee for bringing it to us.
No, but Wade, see, I was bringing you this deal for you to loan me the money to put in. It's my deal here, see?
Jerry, we thought you were bringing us an investment.
Yeah, right.
You're saying... What are you saying?
You're saying we put in all the money and you collect when it pays off.
No, I'd pay you back the principal and interest. Heck, I'd go 1 over prime.
We're not a bank, Jerry.
If I wanted bank interest on $750,000, I'd go to Midwest Federal, talk to old Bill Deal.
He's at North Star.
He's at...
No. See, I don't need a finder's fee. I need... Finder's fees What, 10%? Heck, that's not going to do it for me. I need the principal.
Well, Jerry, we're not going to just give you $750,000.
What the heck were you thinking? If I'm only getting bank interest, I want complete security. Heck, FDIC. I don't see nothing like that here.
Yeah, but Okay, I guarantee you your money back.
I'm not talking about your damn word, Jerry. Jeez, what the heck are you...
We're not a bank, Jerry.
Well, look, I don't want to cut you out of the loop, but this here's a good deal. I assume if you're not interested, you won't mind if we move on it. Independently.
I love the Coen brothers a lot. If there's any filmmakers out there that I respect to the ends of the earth and found no fault in their filmography whatsoever, because I can find fault in most directors' filmographies, but of the three that I can't find fault in, the Coen brothers are on that list. And it really comes down to the dialogue for me, and specifically repetition.
Yep.
Can we stop and get pancakes?
Right.
Yep.
Can we stop and get pancakes?
And that's what I mean, like their tone and their cadence for their films, they always have a certain beat to them.
Yeah, it's
very deliberate.
It's like it's again, like I said, repetition. It just makes the thing funnier.
Exactly.
And there's also my favorite scene in the movie is actually when William H. Macy's father-in-law and Steve Buscemi's character are in the parking lot, and they're just yelling and bickering back and forth about the misunderstanding that is going on in this entire situation. And nobody knows anything about what's going on. And I thought it's a beautifully lit scene. I think this is when they started working with Deakins at the time. And it's just a beautifully lit shot.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. Also the first time you see the trucks coming over the hills of the snow to that score is absolutely beautiful filmmaking. I absolutely love
I think what's fascinating too about the Coen brothers is we each picked scenes besides the Buscemi scene, like that aren't really that important to the film, but they're just so well composed.
So I'll do you one better. So there's this scene that anyone else, I personally think that Fargo is a masterpiece. I think it's one of the greatest films of all time. It is one of my favorite films of all time. It is easily in my top 10 of all time. Possibly my favorite film. Second to it's my favorite film in that version where I take out the stuff I can't actually judge.
Okay, I was going to say.
You remember back in college, I would do my top 10 list, but I didn't have Star Wars or Indiana Jones or Star Trek because it's not fair. Like that, I so love those things that I can't be unbiased about them. So a top 10 list for me is The Raiders of the Lost Ark and then Empire Strikes. It's a bunch of shit that doesn't make a very interesting list. So when I do that, Fargo is genuinely right there at the top. And there is this scene, because a lot of what Fargo is about, for Frances McDormand's character is so much more than this murder mystery. It's about where she is in her life and these questions of the juxtaposition of good and evil and how she continues to be a good person in a world that has this horrible stuff that moves through it, which is what makes Fargo Fargo. So if you go make a Fargo TV show, for example, and I said this when they announced that, the most important thing is the juxtaposition of pure good and pure evil. And she is exactly that. Here's this woman who's pregnant and is as adorable as she could possibly be. The idea of anything bad happening to her is horrible. And so if you were just making a crime thriller movie, you don't need a scene where this old fling sort of guy from high school shows up.
Yeah.
And here's this long, kind of awkward scene where he's hitting on her at this dinner sequence.
In the most pathetic way possible.
And the first time you see the movie, it doesn't need to be there. And yet, it is such a brilliant little scene, and it is actually very important to who she is as a character, that no other director puts that movie in, or writer puts that scene in that movie. It does not belong, and yet it is one of my favorite sequences.
It shows how she's cool under pressure, despite the extremes of evil, whether it's the small extreme of him hitting on her,
right,
up to, is that your accomplice in the wood chipper, all that for a
Right.
lot of money. Notice how she stays cool throughout in all of it.
And because the way that she lets him down, like that's the thing is that here she's gonna go face all of this terrible evil, and here's this guy he is pathetic. He is, the whole sequence is very awkward and you want it to end as quickly as it possibly can, and she could crush him. Like she could just straight destroy this man, and you watch her so carefully navigate, what do I say and how do I say it in order to help get this guy through this without me hurting him, because she is that good. And that sequence is very important for you to understand that character, for me to also love that it's a movie where I am obsessed with the final shots of that film where she's driving the car and talking to him and asking him like, what happened? Like, did no one ever explain to you this was bad? And just the way that shot is lit and the reflection of the snow in her eyes is stunning. And it leaves you with this feeling that as much as I love No Country for Old Men and the unsettled feeling that you get at the end of that movie, like somehow the end of Fargo, like it also leaves you with that unsettled, the world is dangerous feeling. But she goes home and she gets in bed and everything's okay and the world's a good place and she falls asleep and you kind of go like, oh, but it's okay. Like the Coen brothers so often get accused of nihilism. No Country for Old Men is one of them, and I don't believe there's any evidence of that. All of their films, and No Country for Old Men as well, have those like these terrible things that happen. And yet the undertones of the story are always actually really good.
They're morality
plays. They're very encouraging films.
Yeah.
Because even to take it one way, the fact that Frances McDormand exists at all is really encouraging. The movie is gorgeous and at the same time so much fun. Watching William H. Macy just fumble through being a terrible criminal is fantastic and so unique. And the decision to have it say based on a true story at the beginning is a stroke of genius. To hear the story that's on the Blu-ray where William H. Macy is talking about like, you know, when he went up to them mid film and it's like, yeah, man, I'm having a really hard time with like the character in this scene, like. What was going on with the real guy at the time? Like, what was he thinking? Like, why would he say this way? And they looked at him and went, what real guy? It's like, in the true story, like, oh no, it's not. Oh no, we just wrote that on the front. It's not really based on it. You can't do that. It's like, you can't do that. Like, you can't. No, you're not allowed to do that. They're like, says who? Why not? Why aren't we allowed to do that? And sure enough, pulled the wool over I don't know how many people's eyes. And it's a testament to them that they wrote a story that is so outlandish and crazy, and yet you walk away going like, yeah, that could happen.
Yep.
It totally could happen.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I love it. It was destined to be my number one for that year, so.
Brad?
That brings me to my number one, which you've already talked about, and that's Star Trek First Contact.
That's a good one.
It's a great movie.
You son of a bitch.
This really isn't the time.
Okay, I don't know jack about the 24th century, but everybody out there thinks that staying here and fighting the Borg is suicide. They're just afraid to come in here and say it.
The crew is accustomed to following my orders.
They're probably accustomed to your orders making sense.
None of them understand the Borg as I do. No one does. No one can.
What is that supposed to mean?
Six years ago, they assimilated me into their collective. I had their cybernetic devices implanted throughout my body. I was linked to the hive mind. Every trace of individuality erased. I was one of them. So you can imagine, my dear, I have a somewhat unique perspective on the Borg, and I know how to fight them. Now, if you will excuse me, I have work to do.
I'm such an idiot. It's so simple. The Borg hurt you, and now you're going to hurt them back.
In my century, we don't succumb to revenge. We have a more evolved sensibility.
Bullshit! I saw the look on your face when you shot those Borg on the holodeck. You were almost enjoying it.
How dare you?
Oh, come on, Captain. You're not the first man to get a thrill from murdering someone. I see it all the time.
Get out!
Or what? You'll kill me? Like you killed Ensign Lynch?
There was no way to save him.
You didn't even try. Where was your involved sensibility then?
I don't have time for this.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your little quest. Captain Ahab has to go hunt his whale.
What?
You do have books in the 24th century.
This is not about revenge.
Liar!
This is about saving the future of humanity.
Jean-Luc, blow up the damn ship!
No! No! I will not sacrifice the Enterprise. We've made too many compromises already, too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back. They assimilate entire worlds, and we fall back. Not again. The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther. And I will make them pay for what they've done.
You broke your little ships. See you around, Ahab.
And he piled upon the whale's white hump the sum of all the rage and hate felt by his whole race. If his chest had been a cannon, he would have shot his heart upon it.
What?
Moby Dick.
Actually, I never read it.
Ahab spent years hunting the white whale that crippled him. Quest for vengeance. But in the end, it destroyed him and his ship.
I guess he didn't know when to quit.
We already talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here reminiscing about like going to Union Square 6 over here, which is now like a medical facility. And yeah, I think I saw it a couple times in theaters. I can't remember, but and also just being surprised because we made an event out of going to Generations.
Yeah.
And then like I wasn't paying attention to like release schedules and like how long it takes to make a movie. And then I woke up one day and Star Trek First Contact was coming out. I was like, yes.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is interesting how we consume stuff now. Because back then, you woke up and you're like, oh, cool, a new movie's out.
Yeah. Here's another Star Trek movie coming out. I thought they were done with these.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, that it's where they took off on their own movie-wise. Like, it's a shame they didn't get to do, like, 6 like the original cast did.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, they established themselves so well in First Contact, and then they just kind of, like, Insurrection, they kind of went back to making, like, a TV episode almost.
That's why it's such a bummer, the follow-ups, because I think First Contact was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could have gone so far.
It's also a shame that Jonathan Frakes didn't end up making more, like, motion pictures.
Exactly.
It's so good. Like, it's a really well-made film.
Do you think it's because of his Star Trek stigma?
Yeah.
stuff,
Oh,
though.
absolutely. Oh, yeah. He does a lot of directing TV. But yeah, I 100% think that it's one of two things. Either he's not interested and he would much rather just do TV and like have his life and move on and not be in that gamut. But it's also, I would think, the TV stigma. You know, everybody knows, like, wait, you're Riker. You're the guy who steps over chairs to sit in them. Like, why would I want you to direct my film? Yeah.
Always leans into a turn.
Yeah. We always called him Crookneck when I was a kid, because he always stands with his head slightly crooked. Yeah. It's a great movie. Yeah. It's really good. Cool.
Man, my number one's not on anybody's list.
Really?
I cannot believe that. I guess I'm the only one who loves Tom Cruise. Me and my friend Brandon would quote this movie nonstop. And the speeches in it just make me happy. My number one film is Jerry Maguire.
I want everybody to see you for what you are. The best kept secret in the NFL. You are the man. You ready? Yep. Let's go. Let's walk. My name is Jerry Maguire. I'm a sports agent. You could say I'm at the top of my game, but something just isn't right.
Jerry Maguire!
What can I do for you, Rod?
Show me the money. You know what I'm saying, Jerry? Show me the money! Money!
Can you sign my card?
Sorry, little fella. I can't sign this brand of card. Only Pro Jam Blue Dot cards.
And lately, it's getting worse.
Came here to let you go.
Pardon me?
I came here to fire you, Jerry.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do, which is just flip out! Who's coming with me? Who is coming with me?
I will go with you.
Dorothy Boyd, thank you. We're gonna be okay, because I am gonna take my one client and we're gonna go all the way. Help me, Rod. Help me help you. Help me help you.
You are hanging on by a very thin thread. And I dig that about you.
You wanna go out to dinner?
Some dudes might have the coin, but they'll never have the quan.
Quan?
It means love.
Wish me luck.
Whoa, hey.
That is the first time I have ever seen him kiss a man just like a dad.
Don't cry at the beginning of a date. Yeah, just cry at the end like I do.
She'll let you in her house if you come knocking late at night. She'll let you in her mouth if the words you say are right. If you pay the price, she'll let you deep inside. But there's a secret garden she has.
My whole life I've been trying to talk. I mean, really talk. But no one wants to listen to me. You know that feeling? You know that feeling?
Just because I think it's one of Tom Cruise's best performances.
Yeah.
I think he owns the whole movie. My favorite scene in the whole film is he makes the mistake of proposing to Renee Zellweger and they get married. And he only has one client, and that's Rod Tidwell, and that's, Cuba Gooding Jr., and he's really flamboyant and boisterous, and no one's ever told him why he's not getting money. And he had a good game, and so Jerry is walking with Tidwell, and, they're talking, and he says, Jerry, why are you here? Why are you here? Why aren't you home with your wife? And so it kind of sets Jerry off, and he says, can we talk now that we're being friends? You want to know why you're not getting paid? Because you don't shut up. Just shut up and play the game. And I freaking love that that moment, because it's so honest, and, he says, no one wants to hear about how you didn't get the quan, no one threw you the ball. Just shut up and play the game. Inspire people. It's just a great part. And
yeah,
I just love his character in that, because he is kind of not a good guy, and he slowly learns to be a good guy. And it's still, even if you cut out Renee Zellweger at the last part, he's awesome when he runs in. He says, my night wasn't complete because you complete me. And again, it's not one of the most famous quotes in movies ever.
Yep.
And I think Renee Zellweger's not very good at her responses. You had me at hello. And when you see Tom Cruise like being awesome, like But I still think the movie's great.
I've never seen it before.
You've never seen Jerry Maguire?
Really?
Never.
Oh, it is.
man.
It is fantastic.
I gotta have to check this out now.
Cameron Crowe.
Selling it well.
So
I mean, it's not quite as good as Muppet Treasure Island, but it's good.
It's way better than Muppet Treasure Island. I mean, the story is he's a sport agent who has epiphany and a stroke of consciousness, and Jay Moore plays his boss, and he fires him because of it. Like, you can't have a conscience and be in this business, and so that's where he goes on trying to call all his people, and he only gets Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character because he spends his time on the phone saying, "Show me the money."
Yeah. Cameron Crowe's so good at writing kids too.
He is,
because that's the movie with the most famous, cutest kid of all. Like, even Macaulay Culkin, that kid gives him a run for his money.
Yeah, there's that scene where
Human
Jerry
weighs
is
8 pounds.
Yeah, Jerry is drunk, and and Renee Zellweger goes away, and her little boy comes out to talk to Jerry.
Yeah, it's so good.
And he keeps on saying that he wants to go to the zoo while Jerry's like pouring his heart out to him. And he says, "Ray, the fucking zoo is closed, man." And, the kid says, "You said fuck." He says, "You're right. Now I have to take you to the zoo." And it's just a really funny, honest scene.
Yeah. That is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I love that film.
And
so
that's a good choice.
Yeah, that's my number one.
Cool.
And that was Filmsplosion, 1996.
Can you play the Star Trek trailer again during mine, just because it's awesome?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Usually, if we repeat, like I'll either put in a scene, or for you, what I'll do is I'll put in the cool scene for when he said it, and then I'll put in the trailer for you.
Nice.
Are you sure you don't want The Line Must Be Drawn here as your trailer?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we
must
do
be
that.
drawn.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what I was gonna do. But
Or James Cromwell walking around drunk.
yeah.
So, if you're curious on what our good friend Henry's top films of 1996 are,
sure.
Number 5 is Space Jam. Number 4 is also Space Jam.
Cool.
Number 3 is Space Jam.
Great.
Number 2 is Space Jam. And Henry's number 1 film of 1996 is Space Jam. So he is a Space Jam fan.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Space Jam.
We did not.
What a wonderful commercial.
Also, Gretchen from the Alamo. Where the hell did that go?
I got it if you want it.
Yeah, because it's not on our...
Gretchen Rudat? I hope I got that right.
Yep.
Sure.
The list is Scream.
Cool.
Mars Attacks.
Cool.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Nice.
Awesome.
Matilda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Twister. And it just says top 5. I don't know what order. So.
Sure. Yeah, we didn't talk about Twister. Matilda's cool. Matilda's directed by
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. That's a fun movie. Yeah.
Is that all you got?
I think so, yeah.
Planet Studios.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, it's not showing up on my phone. You got it?
Yeah, Mike from Planet Studios sent in his list. Fargo and MST3K, the movie, are at the top. And then it's followed by Trainspotting, Matilda, The Frighteners, and Swingers were all great.
Cool.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
Hashtag damn good year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missing anyone else?
There's certainly a couple of things that I want to bring up, including Kazam, which I saw in theaters that year.
I am Kazam.
I also owned the novelization of Kazam. I was really excited.
Written by
about
Shaq.
Kazam. Yeah.
He's like, this would be even better if there was no pictures associated with it. I just want to read it.
No, this was during that time where it was a novelization where they had like film stills in the middle of the book.
Yeah, I have the Ninja Turtles 2 one.
Yeah, exactly.
I have the Ninja Turtles one.
Oh, nobody talked about Primal Fear. That's a cool movie.
Yep.
Where Ed Norton's just a beast in that.
Remember
movie.
Richard Gere?
Yeah.
He put a hamster up his butt.
Allegedly.
This is also the year of Harriet the Spy, which, if you were of my generation, was a big deal because it came in an orange clamshell VHS case with an orange VHS,
which none of us had seen before.
That's when MTV and like Nickelodeon were getting into movies. Which is why I
that's the only
Joe's apartment
I only
earlier.
like it because it is Dawn from Buffy. So
yeah, right. And the Birdcage. Nobody mentioned the Birdcage.
That
which I was
on my honorable mention. Was the Birdcage, along with. This is not an honorable mention. This is just a me mention it. Escape from L.A.
Oh yeah.
I know that film gets shit on all the time, but I enjoy watching snakes surf. So what?
Hey, make no apologies.
And
Happy Gilmore's on mine.
And Space Jam, because I do love the Looney Tunes near and dear to my heart forever. But
Yeah.
I was surprised that nobody brought up Space Jam. I thought that would come up from one of us, but
I've actually seen it.
I used its spot for Muppet Treasure Island on my list.
Yeah.
And these guys are too old. So.
I'm surprised Ryan didn't have Eraser on his list.
I was just gonna say, I love Eraser.
It's an alright Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah.
It's one of my, I'd say it's like a middle tier of mine for him.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Somewhere right around Red Heat.
Space Jam is what I imagine Michael Jordan is like when he's on acid.
And Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
See, that's actually one of my least favorite Schwarzenegger films.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's pretty bad.
My wife loves that movie.
One of the few Phil Hartman movies out there.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up Executive Decision, which is a movie that I have a soft spot for.
That came so close to my list because it's got Kurt and it's Seagal is the surprise cameo.
Seagal gets killed.
Yeah.
Like really suddenly in that film. And Oliver Platt. I will love almost any movie with Oliver Platt. When I saw Oliver Platt show up in A Time to Kill, I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yes, this is gonna be great. And Jack. I want to mention Jack because Jack's the first movie to ever make me cry. That's the Robin Williams plays a guy who gets old really fast, and like at the end he tells this, like he gets up and he reads like this paper he wrote about friendship, and like his friend is there and he's getting old, and then I cried, and then they all graduate from high school and he dies. It's a sad movie.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh shit!
Yep.
I didn't even realize that.
I'm also surprised Ryan didn't have Spy Hard.
I do like spoofs, but that's one of Leslie Nielsen's not best ones.
Yeah.
I do like the Weird Al song in it, though. And the credits are really funny.
Yeah.
How about First Kid with Sinbad? It's got VR in it.
How about Eye for an Eye with Kiefer Sutherland as like
a murderer?
Totally.
How about Barbed Wire?
You know, that's as
the
I'm doing
18th Casablanca remake. Yeah.
As I'm doing the comic book movie binge.
Yeah.
That's been at Tradesmart for like a year.
Is that technically a comic book adaptation? Oh,
yeah,
man, it is.
And it's on Blu-ray for $5 at Tradesmart. And every time I pass by it, I'm like, not today.
Yeah.
And it's been there for a year.
Man.
I'm going to eventually have to watch it. But is there a place where I can stream it? Oh, it actually might be on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Because, you know, it did, because it showed up after I watched Electric Boogaloo. As it, like, because you watch Electric Boogaloo, Netflix recommends
Barbed Wire. Amongst other things.
That's too funny.
The Electric Boogaloo doesn't make me want to watch Ninja 3 Domination.
I also want to point out that my review of Star Trek First Contact was minimal because I wrote a whole article about it on the website detailing all the awesome parts about it. So just read what I said there.
Yeah.
To make up for my
Absolutely.
lack of commentary.
Cool.
We didn't talk about Twister either.
Yeah, because it's stupid.
Well, we're not in it for the science.
I think the movie's fun.
They made a whole theme park ride out of it.
Yeah, remember when the cow goes by him? Great.
That's one shot of that movie.
Yeah, I know.
The opening,
and the rest of it's not good either.
Opening sequence of that movie terrified me as a kid. Where like they're just in a cellar and their dad gets sucked out through the door. Yeah, man. Yeah. But
yeah.
Anyway,
not a
cool.
fan. But whatever. Next week we're seeing Hardcore Henry, I believe.
Yeah,
as a film we're seeing. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for sending in your submissions for Filmsplosion 1996. From all of us at the Real Nerds Podcast, we'll see you at the movies. Bye.
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 Welcome to Earth. 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 Earth.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.